Alright, so we're good. Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Tonight, our coverage of the 2025 Women's Euros continues as we're into our third quarter-final match. We've already seen Italy and England through, both in dramatic fashion. Italy with a last-minute winner and England going through on penalty. So will we see the drama continue this evening? The hosts take on the favourites. It's Spain versus Switzerland. It's going to be an incredible matchup, Harry. Are you excited for it?
I was going to say, yeah, just as everyone seems to have calmed down after the first two quarterfinals, we're straight back into the action, and we've seen the reigning European champions fight hard and have to battle their way through a tough match, and now we get to see the reigning world champions try and do the same. They'll be hoping it's a lot more comfortable for them tonight, but I think Switzerland are going to be up for this game. Massive following, great scenes prior to kickoff of the massive home support that we've seen from the Switzerland fans. It's going to be up to Spain to spoil the party. But I think we're in for a good game. Spain have flown through the group stage, really. It's fair to say. Switzerland, however, have already provided us with some last gasp late action in their, scoring a 92nd minute equaliser to go through to the quarterfinals. So I think that we're in for a really good game tonight. I think Switzerland will definitely be up for this. They will enjoy the opportunity to potentially knock out the favourites in Spain, and Spain will also enjoy the opportunity to knock out the hosts here.
Yeah, and Switzerland, while obviously this is their first knockout game, the Finland game was a de facto knockout game. Both sides had to win. It was everything on the line, and so Switzerland had to fight in that game, especially once Finland had scored. So that, I think, was a really important moment. This is going to be a completely different kettle of fish. Tonight for Switzerland won't be about trying to go on and win the game early on. It's going to be, can they stop Spain winning the game and then look to nick something late on? The paramount objective has to be to stop Spain scoring. That's the only way, really, to try and halt Spain, to try and slow them down. Take as long as they can to score for Spain, because if they score tonight, it's going to be very difficult for Switzerland to get anything from there. So what they've got to try and do is just rely on being able to defend. There's a very interesting lineup change, so let's have a look at the lineups and we'll discuss it from there. We'll start with where we are in the world. We are in Bern in Switzerland, the Stadion Wankdorf. It's played host to all of Switzerland's games so far, I believe, and makes sense. It's the biggest stadium in the country. So it will play host again tonight. We'll start with Spain then. A 4-3-3 for Spain. In goal, it's Catalina Cole. A back four of Batier, Captain Paredes, Alexandri and Olga Carmona. In midfield three, it's Bomati, Gallardo and Puteas. And a front three of Caldente, Esther Gonzalez and Claudia Pina. Probably the strongest 11 for Spain, the first time I've seen this at the tournament.
Yeah, 100%. Massive boost to have Catalina Cole back. I thought Nan Clares looked okay, but did have a few shaky moments. But to have a goalkeeper of Cole's quality back into the starting 11 for the quarterfinals is a massive boost for Spain. It is an incredibly strong side. And to have all their 11 best players fully fit is a massive boost, and that is going to take some beating. The strength defensively is phenomenal. The midfield three are just so good at orchestrating and dominating the midfield battle, which then sets them up nicely to give the ball to probably the most dangerous front three at this tournament, who use that ball and go and score loads of goals. It's an incredible side for Spain tonight. They look great to see them back to full strength. Paredes, Bomati, the likes, all back to full fitness, which is crucial for them as we enter into the knockouts. And I think that, there's a reason they're favourites. That starting 11 is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, echoed by Alyssa's thoughts in the live chat. Welcome to the stream. She says, holy, that's a good lineup indeed. It is. Welcome, Alyssa. Welcome, Malith as well. Welcome, Wahil, who says, Switzerland must not be underestimated. Home advantage is a real thing. It definitely is. How much of an impact could that play tonight, though, given the strength of the opposition?
It will have an impact on Switzerland. The problem is, will it have an impact on Spain? And
because that's what home advantage is, isn't it? It's not just lifting up the team who are at home. It's also intimidating the team that are away. But are Spain capable of being intimidated?
I don't think so. They were at Wembley, maybe, but I don't think they're really intimidated. They were just beaten on the pitch. And that is the problem, as you say. I think the Switzerland fans will do brilliantly to get behind their players and to give the Switzerland players the push that they need to go on to win the game. But Spain will be unfazed. There's a reason they are world champions. There's a reason why they're Nations League champions. There's a reason why they're favourites to win this competition. It's because they are fazed by very little. It is going to take a lot. I don't think it will get hostile tonight, and that's the problem. That's the kind of atmosphere it's going to take to try and halt Spain. is this horrible, nervy atmosphere. But I don't see that happening. Spain will not be phased tonight by the Switzerland support. They thrive on being the upsetting the party, ruining everyone's day, and that they'll look at tonight and view it as an opportunity to knock out the hosts and to go one step closer to winning the Euros. So Spain will be unfazed, but I do agree. In terms of a positive for Switzerland, it is a big one. To have 20, 30,000 people all backing you in the ground tonight will potentially give them that extra energy to go for those final 5-10 minutes. It's the kind of support you need when you're looking to hold on, because you are going to be up against it. But if you can keep using the crowd to rally yourself to keep going again, they could fare better in keeping Spain out tonight.
Yeah, I think Spain are a side who can crumble under pressure, but it's not in the sense of, I don't think they'll be intimidated by the occasion, but they're a side who are very capable of getting frustrated. I think we've seen that in previous games. We haven't seen this tournament because they've won every game like there is only one team on the field. But if they are in a position tonight where they're not having it all their own way, where Switzerland are making life difficult for them, that's when gaps open up. And we saw Brazil at the Olympics last year were able to remain defensively solid and then look to counter effectively. They pressed really aggressively as well, and they forced errors out of Spain. The frustration came, the panic came, mistakes crept into their game. It's not what we're used to seeing from Spain, but we've seen it on a few occasions now where it does just fall apart a little bit. They get frustrated, they don't enjoy being behind and not having it all their own way. So that's what Switzerland have got to look to force tonight. Create that frustration for Spain, make life difficult for them, and then if they get an opportunity, well, you've got to take it because you're not going to get many more. And let's have a look then at the Switzerland side. I think a large part of the start of this game is piecing together what on earth Pia Sandhausen has come up with here. So my best guess is it's going to continue to be the 5-3-2. There could be a change there. In goal, it's Livia Payne. A back four of Bene, Sernagorcevic, Caligari, Moritz and Reisen. Across the midfield three, it'll be then Valti, Evelia and Velotto playing a little bit higher in the 10. And then leading the line, Schertenleib and Reuteler. This is a difficult one to put together because Sernagorcevic isn't a defender, but the only other option they've really got is dropping Valti into the back three. So which of those are they going to do? It'll either be Valti in the back three and Sernagorcevic probably playing as the two up front, and then Reuteler dropping into midfield, or be Reuteler playing up front, Valti midfield, and Sernagorcevic on the right side of a back three. Neither I particularly like.
No, I think there's some interesting decisions in here, as you say. I've been impressed by Reuteler in the midfield. I think that her physicality and her aggression tonight would really benefit Switzerland if she is playing as part of the three. I think playing Sernagorcevic or Valti at centre half is the wrong decision because they will both struggle tonight. I just think it's a weird one, and it'll be interesting how it plays out. I mean, it's caught us out, so maybe it will catch Spain out, but I just look at it and I struggle to understand why Sundhage has made the changes that she's made. Because for me, they don't make much sense, and I don't think they offer much more to Switzerland than... And I think there's probably maybe some more negatives in there. But, it's maybe there's a method to the madness. I think that overall, no matter who's playing where, it's got to be structured from Switzerland tonight. They're going to have to sit deep. They're going to absorb pressure. And they've got to crowd out central areas. The amount of teams that, even if you give Spain half a yard in the penalty area, they will still find a way to score from that. Yeah. You have to crowd out the central areas. And when they get the ball wide, make sure you clear your box. I say it every time. Box defending tonight for Switzerland is going to be absolutely crucial. It will be the difference between whether they have a chance in this game or not. Because if they give the likes of Putellas and Pina and Gonzalez time and space in the penalty area, then they will punish them. But if they're tight, if they're compact, and they make sure that it's a white shirt getting to every single ball, then they will have an opportunity tonight. And of course, it's a knockout match, so they're going to have to sit deep. But they're going to have to turn that ball over quickly, and they're going to have to get forward when they get the opportunities, because at the end of the day, this is knockout football. You still you still need to score, you still need to win the match. So they've got to turn that ball over quickly and get the ball into the likes of Schertenleib, who are going to have to play some brilliant hold-up tonight. And if she can do that, then Switzerland will get into this game. But it's got to be methodical, and it's got to be purposeful from Switzerland tonight.
The other option in terms of formation for Switzerland tonight could be the 4-3-3 we've seen them switch to in certain games. Sernagorcevic right back, Bene right wing, Schertenleib left wing, Reuteler through the middle, 4-3-3. We saw Italy play a very similar system against Spain. We had a few question marks over why they would do that, but what it allowed them to do was press well against Spain, drop back into a 4-5-1. So while you may not be able to find players to link up with too well up front, if players get forward and break away quickly, do Schertenleib and Bene and Reuter as a front three, is that more dangerous? Potentially so. We'll have to wait and see how Switzerland line up in this game. But either way, it's very interesting to see a change. But what we have seen from Switzerland is them change it in every game so far this tournament to a 4-3-3 and look better at the end of matches. So potentially that's what we're going to see here from Switzerland. Better don't welcome to the stream. Says hello from Oregon, USA. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us for this evening's game. It's sure to be a very good one. Spain taking on Switzerland. Of course, the favourites taking on the hosts. Should be good. Let's get into predictions for this game as the players stand attentive for the national anthems. If you're watching along to the stream, get involved in the live chat. Give us your scoreline prediction. Make sure to vote in the poll as well if you haven't already. We're going to start here in the studio though, and we'll start with yourself, Harry. What is your prediction for Spain versus Switzerland?
I think Switzerland will give it a really good go, and I think as hosts they'll want to come in and put on a good display. But again, I think individual quality will just reign supreme at the end of the day. I will say Spain to win 2-0. I think it's the type of game where it's going to be pretty close. I think Spain will go. We'll see. I think Spain will go 1-up through. I will say Putellas to get a fourth of the tournament, and I think it will be. And Switzerland will do well to hang in there. And it'll be that kind of game where it's only 1-0, and that chance of Switzerland countering or getting an opportunity to equalise is very real. I think, though, that they'll over-push it in the latter stages, and Spain will then get another one and put the game to bed. So I will say Putellas in the first half, and then in the final 10 minutes, it will be a goal from Vicky Lopez off the bench to round out the win for Spain and put them into the semi-finals.
I like it a lot. I think Switzerland will give them a really good game here. I'm tempted. I remember, obviously, back to the men's Euros last year where Switzerland managed to knock out France. That's where my thinking is now. Could Switzerland be the big upsetters again? I'm just not sure that both their national teams can take out hosts. They can take out the favourites in back-to-back tournaments. So I will say a Spain win, but I think this will go beyond the 90 again this evening. I'm going to say 3-1 Spain, 1-all after 90 minutes, 3-1 after extra time. I think once they break that deadlock in extra time, Switzerland then push for it, Spain then break away, match to score again. So I will say Putellas goal, a Bonmati goal, and I'm also going to go Vicky Lopez. I'm really impressed with her in the glimpses we've seen at this tournament. And then for Switzerland, I'm going to go for Geraldine Reuter. I think she's looked the most dangerous for them. So we'll see what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a tough one. Tougher than we expect perhaps for Spain this evening, but we all know that Spain have the ability just to turn on the style when it's needed. So we'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we're sat here in 90 minutes going, well, how the hell have Spain won this game 4-0? That's the thing with Spain. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't think that is what's going to happen, but they've always got that ability just to turn on the style and absolutely play a team off the park. So we'll see what's going to happen. I think Switzerland will put up a good fight, though. Better don't going 2-1 Spain, saying I joined the stream yesterday, enjoyed the vibes, so here I am. Fair enough. Yesterday was a lot more high action, high emotion than today will be, perhaps. But thank you for joining us once again. Nigel welcome to the stream as well, saying Alexa will win the Ballon d'Or if Spain win this tournament. Alexa will probably win the Ballon d'Or regardless, because that is what the Ballon d'Or is for. It's a popularity contest, but she's very popular for a reason. A very good player. Nigel says, I'd love to see Bene ball against the world champions. Yeah, I mean, that could be a big part of Switzerland's attack side. If they have got her in a higher role, how can she link up with Schertenleib, and how can she link up with Velotto and Reuter? How can they make that attack function well against such a strong opposition? That will be the big question. But yeah, I think this will be an interesting one. I'm intrigued to see what Switzerland are doing, because this isn't a lineup we've seen them list at all to start any of the games of this tournament. So it's either going to be someone playing in a slightly different role this evening, or it's going to be a shape change. So either way, very interesting.
Yeah, it's a risk, but I understand it. If you're in Pia Sundhage's position, you're home. You are the home nation. You're going up against the favourites. You've got nothing to lose, but you've also got everything to lose. In terms of on the pitch and the quality, there's no pressure on Switzerland tonight. But as a nation, they want to do well. Brilliant. So the sea of red around this ground is absolutely phenomenal to see. I thought the display pre-match was was superb between the white and the red and the time to move mountain slogan, and that is what it is tonight for Switzerland. If they are going to win, they are going to have to climb a mountain to get there, 100%. But we've seen stranger things happen in football, and they're going to give it their best shot. For Spain, though, they know that it's very important that they start fast, get on top early, and try and stop those Switzerland dreams from developing, even in the early stages.
Yeah, definitely. Give them a nightmare to think about instead, which Spain are definitely capable of. We are well aware of that at this point. It will be Switzerland to get us started here in Bern. They've got a handy countdown timer here. Both such players taking in a stand against all forms of discrimination. Then it will be Switzerland to get us underway. Shirton Live knocks it back, and we're underway for this quarter-final matchup. Spain taking on Switzerland. The favourites taking on the host. Should be a good one. Will the passion of Switzerland run through, or will it be the quality of Spain that leads them to success? Ben Ahart, the field already, tries to way back to Sona Gorcevic. That's one back in there by Spain. Putellas falls to Leovalti. Where are the options here? Chooses to go from range. Little bit of a poor idea that from Valti, but not something I'm going to complain about after 30 seconds taking a shot.
I mean, what a start that would have been for Switzerland, I think the Stadion Wankdorf would have erupted if Leovalti had found a target from there in the first 20 seconds.
Yeah. So it's looking like it's Iman Bene to lead the line. I'm very intrigued by what they're doing this evening. Switzerland. It's definitely a back four. We'll find out as the game goes on. I'm lost already, but they're playing some nice stuff here. Still in possession, tries to poke a ball forwards there, looking for Iman Bene. Doesn't quite come off.
Yeah, so I think it is. Yeah, look, it does look like Bene is leading the line with Shirton Live.
Well, Shirton Live playing almost a 10 role. Evelia playing on the left-hand side. Voigtler on the right-hand side. A pivot of Bolotto and Valti. And then a flat four.
It's more of a 4-2-3-1.
I have no idea. No, not even that. It's it's a 4-5-1, really.
There's players. Switzerland to put 11 players out on the pitch.
Yeah. But it's Iman Bene leading the line. I don't understand that one. Pure counter-attacking threat, sure, but surely you have Shirton Live up there who will offer you counter-attacking threat, but also is, a bit more physical.
He's a striker.
Yeah, exactly.
Or he's he's an attacker.
Iman Bene is an attacker by trade, but still, a not choice player up front. But Matti brings it down the box, cleared away well by Caligari. Bene flicking it past Paredes, can't quite run round though and get to the ball. If only that was Jess Carter. Here's Catalina Cole. Now Paredes. Yeah, Nigel saying Bene looks like she's sent forward off the ball. She is. She's playing as the main striker tonight. Shirton will play as almost a second striker. And then Avelia, who is a central midfielder, is playing on the left wing. It's an interesting one, I have to say.
Yeah.
Reutzer, who's played as a striker or midfielder on the right wing. And then an attacking midfielder and a defensive midfielder and a pivot in midfield with Bolotto and Valti. Go figure. Next we said Shirton Live is on Patry and build-up. Well, that could be useful. Just putting someone on Gallardo who understands Patrick Gallardo. But I think Veloca could have done the same job. Bonmati. Here is Caldente. Reason will close the angle down the line. To Battier, back to Caldente. Flicks it in behind towards Bonmati. Valti tries to see it out. Ball doesn't have the legs on it. He does well to turn out. And now Switzerland will carry it forward. So it's just going to be Valti by herself, seemingly. Bonmati knocking it out of play.
Important for Switzerland just to hang on and settle in the early stages.
You're going to start the better side here, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've got their foot on the ball, which is important. It's exactly what they need to do. Just don't let Spain... Because if Spain get on top of you early doors, then it does become a very long half because suddenly you're defending for 45 minutes. If you can just keep the pressure off you, even for the first 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and suddenly you can be under pressure for a shorter amount of time. Which then we see it so often in these kind of games where the underdog side will fall away towards the end of the half. Look at Wales this tournament. The amount of goals they've conceded right on the stroke of half time. But if Switzerland can start well and just keep Spain off them for 5-10 minutes, they should still have the energy to remain solid until we get to half time.
Great fight from Sydney. Shirton tries to flick it towards Reutzer. Paredes coming onto the ball. Now it's with Ona Battier. Mariona Caldente, pass inside. Gallardo switches it wide. Here's Aitana Bonmati. Wants to swing one in there. We'll just be patient in possession. Pass inside. Finds Battier. Nice turn out to Caldente. Bonmati. Caldente. Back to Aitana Bonmati. Nice strike forwards. Can she get towards goal? Really good defending. Great hold up there. Just gets in front of a player. Now a little bit scrappy in there.
It's very open.
It was Nolmaritz just stood up Bonmati, dealt with her running at her, and then was able to clear it away. Now Caligari gets it long, looking for Iman Bene. Paredes will head it out of play, and that's a Switzerland throw.
One big thing for me that hasn't been modified is Schertenleib overplaying. Like there, she's trying to hold. She's got her back to the defender. She's facing her own goal, and she's trying to hold it up on the edge of her own area.
Yeah.
Cannot afford to do that against Spain. You just have to be smart with it. There's another one in there where she tried to backhit it to Reuteler. Didn't need to do that. You've got possession in the middle of the pitch. Just keep hold of it.
But that's on Schertenleib, and again, there's not a lot Sundhausch can do about that.
That's what I'm saying. You know, she needs to realise when
Ball
to
in
play
behind,
and when to
looking
not.
for Gonzalez, and that will fall to the gloves of Olivia Peng.
Peng's been another key aspect of this game. She's had a really strong tournament. And, has come up massive for Switzerland at times.
If Chelsea hadn't already bought her, I think there would be a scramble over her signature this summer.
Yeah.
And again, it's a shrewd business because her price tag would have at least doubled
100%.
after this tournament.
We've seen that now with a few players that rather than
Iman Bene,
Smila Holmberg's on the same as well. But rather than playing well at the Euros and getting the move afterwards, they've got their move and then they've proved why they've got the move at the Euros.
It's almost predicting a strong tournament from the big clubs. Going, we think she's going to have a great tournament. Let's sign her up. Another one I would expect to get a decent move is Naomi Avelia. Really impressed with her. 18 years old, looks super combative in the midfield. She's a water carrier type, which I think a lot of players, that sounds like more like a Pokemon than a footballer. But what I mean by that is she does the hard work. She does the graft that no one else wants to, the gritty stuff, the stuff that doesn't go noticed as much. She's really good at that, and she's very combative, good at circulating possession. Spain coming forwards now. Carmona towards Bonmati, unopposed, to swing a volley, and she's made a mess of it. Now Caldente. Spain can put another ball into the box. Darts inside. Reeson a little late, and that's a Spain penalty.
Oh,
you
dear.
Can't do that after 7 minutes in a game like this. I don't know why she's gone in there. And Calente's played the pass before the tackle even comes in. That is so sloppy from Reeson. Just a day late and $1 short, and that's a penalty.
Stonewall penalty. There were warning signs already there. I was going to mention it before this happened. Is that Reeson tucked. The reason Bonmati and Calente were in acres at the back post is because Reeson tucked in, and because Avelia is playing as a left winger, she came in. She came in because she's more naturally a midfielder. Left them in acres of space. Bonmati missed it. They recycled it, and that's really something from Reeson. You can't dive in like that in the early stages of a game against Spain.
Well, Mariona Caldente with a lovely chance to give Spain the ascendancy here. Can she convert? Caldente from 12 yards.
I said that Peng would need to be big for Switzerland tonight.
Well, she's already made Ada Hegerberg miss a penalty.
Yes.
Can she do that again? Caldente steps up. It's wide again. Livia Peng puts her off. And Mariona Caldente misses the target entirely. What a miss. It's almost an exact replica of Ada Hegerberg's penalty against Switzerland. And Caldente squanders a gilt-edged opportunity to put Spain in the ascendancy.
Well, Reeson can count her blessings, but what has happened to penalties at this tournament? Hegerberg's missed 2, put them wide. Caldente's just missed 1, and no one last night for Sweden or England could find the back of the net. Has everyone just forgotten how to take a penalty at this Euros?
I think it's the pressure. It's the pressure aspect that's just come into the game. The fact, well, sort of two things combining. The goalkeeping standard anyway in the women's game has shot up over recent years. And I think that's definitely been an underrated aspect of teams preparing penalty shootouts. But also the pressure is so much higher now with these packed out stadiums. And Caldente there just, I think, feeling it a little. With a packed out Swiss end looming in front of her, I think it's difficult to adjust to that. And Livia Peng, as Johannes puts it, it's that aura. Same with Nigel's Aura as well. Yeah, she just puts them off. Chelsea have got their penalty goal kicker back again.
I mean, they're lucky. They've got Hannah Hampton, who saved 2 last night. They've got Peng, who just everyone gets scared.
Chelsea have always had good goalkeepers for penalties, though. They had Ann-Katrin Berger,
who was probably the best.
Musovic. Oh, yeah, undoubtedly. That could be huge for Germany if they can take France to penalties.
But I'll tell you what,
the best chance of winning that game.
It's even the ones that have gone in this tournament. The France one against Middleton Patel, she got her feet to it and probably could have saved it. Finland was the only one that went in, and that was absolutely thundered just down the middle. Centre half took that. Can't remember.
Nystrom?
No. Koika, that was it. Just stepped up and smashed it straight down the middle. Yeah, people are struggling from the spot tonight. This is the Euro, sorry.
Cadence, ball towards the back post. Great touch there from Claudia Pina. Back across the box, pushed away brilliantly by Peng. And that's already an important intervention.
Switzerland are very open.
Switzerland have got to stop playing Iman Bene up front as quickly as possible.
Yes, I'm not really sure what... Velia on the left wing as well. She's not a left winger. Reuter on the right is another interesting decision. I just have so many questions as to what happened. Was it a roulette? Was it just draw the names out the hat?
It's one of those where I just can't understand. They're lumping it long every time they get the ball tonight to a striker who is never going to be able to hold the ball up.
If you're going to go long, you've got to get in behind, over the top, rather than into her. But because they're so deep, they can only get it to her feet.
Plays into the channel, and that's really good defending from Moritz. Sees it out. Guyara helps her back to her feet.
Moritz has played really well. She looks really confident and comfortable. Again, experience coming, to the forefront so far tonight. But the Switzerland fans, they have survived this early scare with a Carente missed penalty.
Yeah.
And already Pia Suntage, from that goal kick, she's just called a couple players over there to get some more instructions in. Which is interesting. 11 minutes and she's already got a lot of things to say to her side.
Understandably, it's not worked 100%. Nigel who took the second penalty for Sweden last night. That was the best penalty in the tournament so far, probably. That was Ulmer?
Yeah, Ulmer.
I think.
Kelly's was brilliant.
Yeah. That was one of the best penalties. I was just composed.
Bronze was hilarious.
That was undoubtedly the best penalty. No messing around. Everything about Lucy Bronze last night I loved.
Yeah. And
the armband around her wrist, strapping up her own thigh.
And that's why, people wonder why we get so annoyed when she doesn't play well, but that's why. Because she can play. Yeah. She can be on a day, she's one of the best right backs in the world. It's frustrating when she doesn't turn up. Speaking of best right backs in the world, Ona Batier's on a throw.
Yeah, Hannah says, Spain can't count a specific formation if there is no formation. That's very true.
To be honest, I think Tome's still working out what Switzerland are trying to do.
Yeah. This is the only thing I didn't think they'd do.
No.
We ran through all the different options. Iman Bene up front wasn't on any of them.
No.
Naomi Avalia left wing wasn't on any of them. Just one of those. Alex says Spain took penalty lessons from last night. They must have done. They've been watching too many replays.
What a pick-off.
Of Grace Clinton's penalty.
That was picked off. That pass was picked off brilliantly by Velotto. But again, they're trying to pick out Iman Bene. And it's just not working.
I feel for Bene tonight because she's just going to chase off scraps all evening. But
meanwhile, Shirt Lives kind of sitting behind her, a bit like a passenger at the moment.
One back in there well by Switzerland. Here's recent. Tries to go back through the legs of Esther Gonzalez. Not a conventional one, that. But they have got away with it. Moritz. She's looking up because that's the only option she's got at the moment. Yeah. The way Spain are pressing and how quickly Switzerland want to move the ball forwards, that was over-aggressive deemed. That challenge from Ona Battier. And the ref not happy.
Ball was moving.
That recent second, that's what she has.
Switzerland will take that because that's just killed more time. But yeah, Shirt and Live's an interesting one again tonight. I don't think she's played particularly well. And yes, she is a magnificent player. But unlike the other magnificent players at this tournament, she doesn't put the hard yards in. She's too luxury. With your Bon Matisse and your Lauren James.
Great from Vouty to play out to the right-hand side. Reuteler looking for Bene. Bene will get there ahead of Paredes. Cuts it back. Where are the options? In towards Avelia. It's blocked away. That's a brilliant flick. Ball back in from Sernagorcevic. Shirt and Live to Vouty. Back in towards the box. Someone's got to gamble on that. That's the right idea from Sernagorcevic. Not quite coming off.
That's what happens when you do pick out Bene. And to be fair, did she get the cut back right here? I'm not.
I think that's the right ball.
Yeah, probably.
Just not the right. I don't know why Naomi Avelli is playing
true.
left wing tonight.
It's the right ball, the wrong player.
That shirt and live bursting onto that.
Yeah.
I think it could be 1-0 Switzerland. And that's what they haven't done this one, is get shirt and live in the right positions ever.
No.
Here's Reuteler. Can drive inside, look like a foul, will be given as such, and that's a Switzerland free kick in a really good area.
Frustration's growing. Frustration's really growing for Spain now. This is what you mentioned. It's only been 15 minutes. I think the ref has probably given a few calls to the home crowd, and it's frustration's already kicking in. I mean, that is unlucky, to be honest, from Pina. She catches her, but
Reuteler does really.
Reuteler's still gone for the ball. Yeah,
there is enough of a push that
there is.
That ball gets away from her.
But yeah, I have to say, Switzerland are getting a little bit the rub of the green at the moment. There's been a couple. But that's what, again, we spoke about what the home crowd can do. When you are a referee and you're in a big game, you've got 30,000 people in red who all want one decision, it can cloud you, it can force your hand to tight a little bit.
As Brain says in chat, Spain's rattled. Welcome, by the way, Phil as well, says he can't stay long. Family stuff. Unlucky, mate. Today's going to be a good game. Here comes Spain. Calente down the right hand of Haiti. Paredes tries to go to Battier. Great pressure from Bene. Forces them backwards here. Another play out. Moving right to left. Gallardo. Surveying her options. Or just casually lift the ball out to Alba Carmona, who can carry it forwards now. Opts to go back instead. Alexandre. Plays a pass forwards. Gonzalez to Putellas to Caldente. One back by Schertenleib. But now it's Spain's ball once more. Aitana Bonmati. Here's Ona Battier. Now Gallardo. Paredes. Bonmati. Back to Paredes. Gallardo. Now Catalina Gol out to the left centre back. Alexandre. Carmona. Now a left wing, it's Claudia Pina. Wants to come inside now. Takes it past one player, Serna Gorzovic. Still with Pina now. Ball into the box. Gonzalez heads towards goal, but that's actually going to go out for a throw. Unless someone can get there. Reeson will challenge for it. Knocks it up the line. Out. That's out for a Spain throw in now.
Yeah, good play. Again from Spain. Lovely move. Get the ball to Pina. She makes things happen. It's not a great ball in. Picks out Gonzalez, but too deep to do anything with that. And just gets the header a bit wrong. Bonmati. Paredes. Again, really well moved from Bonmati. Spain moving this from left to right really nicely.
Carmona. Alexandre. That's clumsy there. Premier Bene.
Sharp again from Pina. Really good stuff, that.
That's Reuteler, sorry, and they just dove in. And that's what Spain are so good at doing, just drawing those fouls with their movement. Brian says Spain can't cope with the pace of the Swiss forwards. Spain have been bad at defending transitions for ages now. You just get away with it because they're Spain. I think every top side of this tournament struggled a bit in transition. Spain, naturally,
England,
if you're going to try and dominate
Germany,
where's the weakness going to come? That's the only time you don't have.
Yeah.
You don't have the numerical advantage. You don't have possession, so it's sort of going to be that case unless you've got really fast defenders or a really good structure. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Ball onto the goalkeeper. Great strike. Good stop from Peng. Pushes it away well. Gallardo into a dangerous area. Paredes heading wide. The other thing I love about Olivia Peng is the way that she's able to tip things wide rather than pushing it back into the danger. I've seen goalkeepers this tournament who would have pushed it straight into Gallardo rather than looping it up in the air and away from it. That's a really good effort from Peng.
Oh, yeah.
Good stop from Peng.
Hit so nicely. To be honest, should we just... the only way that goes in there is if she finds the very top corner. She's hit that really well, Pina. But Peng matched it. And again, Switzerland just managed to deal with it. But they're doing well, they're wanting to play out. They're getting the ball down from the goal kick, trying to play out, trying to come at Spain. And, I respect that from Switzerland. They're being bold, they're being brave. They back themselves tonight. And fair play.
Velotto, Reeson. Hivalia. They're unable to hold on to it. Good fight there from Reuteler, unable to hold on to the ball, and now it's back in the possession of Spain. So it's a 4-3-3 with two narrow wingers in the front line. Zane Getsu says, can anyone tell me where Athenia is? She's not going to start over Mariona Caldente or Claudia Pina. Excellent in the last game against Italy, but ultimately Caldente is probably a better player. I don't think that's a problem. Very, very good player. Comes inside now, Mariona Caldente tries to switch it. One back in there by Reeson, who's passed forwards. A little bit of a miscommunication there between Alexandria and Patrick Ayala, but they get away with it. Now out to the left-hand side for Spain. Here's Olga Carmona. Let's Putellas overlap. Now with Putellas. Carmona. One outfield there by Reuteler. Now Spain win it back though. Putellas, really good stuff from Vouty. Not sure what happened to Putellas. That's just not a natural way to fall down.
No.
So it's never going to be given when you just sort of spring backwards like that.
And so, mate, we're 20 minutes through this game.
And this is the thing, the longer Switzerland can keep the game like this. And that's the most obvious dive I've ever seen, Putellas. A player I respect immensely, but that was comical the way that she went down there. No wonder the referee didn't fall for it. That was a foul throw from Serena Gorswich. Will get away with it. Shirt and Live dragged down in there.
Yeah.
A Switzerland free kick.
It's another one. Fouls are totting up a little bit now. And that was the ball being kicked away by Pina.
Should be very likely to avoid a yellow here, because what is the excuse?
I don't like that. I think she got away with one there. But again, it's signs of frustration. Doesn't need to be doing that.
So Switzerland in possession. Down the line from Reuteler. Here's Velotto. Up against Olga Carmona. Lovely pass inside. Turner Gorcevic. Space to use. Shirt in line with the back post. Not going to get there, Alexandri. Blocking it at the front post. Foul in there from Velotto on Olga. That's got to be a more challenging ball into the box. But it's a really good piece of play here. It's smart from Velotto. She holds the ball up well. Drags Olga Carmona out of position. Spain don't adjust to that. Turner Gorcevic drives inside. So much space for her to use. The ball in the box has got to be more difficult.
If you go under Shirt and Live, you lift it in there. If not, you've got to cut it back to Bennett.
Yeah. Just sort of gets stuck between the two.
Yeah.
Tries a low ball front post, but no one's making that run. It's a great pass from Paredes to pick out Bonmati. Zangetsu say, what is that dive? You've got to do what you've got to do to win, though. That is true, but you're not going to get anything diving like that. That's hilarious from Putellas. Here's Battier. Out now to the right-hand side. Caldente. Battier. Back to Mariona Caldente. Pass across to Alexandri. Now Pina. Drops deeper to receive the ball. Battier. Alexandri. Across now to Caldente. Pass forwards into Bonmati. Back to Caldente. And again to Bonmati. Caldente. They'll just play like this all evening. She'll drive inside now. Lovely movement. Now it's the left-hand side. Carmona with space now to pick out a cross in towards the back post. Overhit. Battier work hard to try and keep this in and does so. And they'll recycle it again now. Here's Gallardo. Lovely link up between her and Caldente. Drops in there for Gonzalez. Good, well cut out there by Velotto. Maritz then smashes out of play. What I will say is I think Switzerland have made it really difficult for Spain to play through them. The fact that they're resorting to crosses and dives around the, outside the box. The fact that they haven't really been able to, those link ups in midfield in that zone 14 usually are so dangerous and no one else can keep up with them. But Switzerland have done well just to remain disciplined, regimented, and not get dragged out of position. They've done really well so far. So yeah.
Spain, we happy with where they're at. Yes, they're going a bit frustrated, but they're playing well, and they know that they just keep this up. The goal will come.
Yeah. Forward drives Claudia Pina. Great stuff. Takes aim, and it's straight at Livia Peng. Had to be a better effort, you feel?
Yeah. She got a bit fortunate, and Switzerland actually got a bit lucky as well, because the tackle here just wasn't firm enough in there from Vouty.
And if Livia Peng does what she did against Belgium,
Pina.
Livia Peng, and Claudia Pina does what she did against Belgium, that's 1-0 Spain.
It's very rare that you see Claudia Pina drill a shot from there straight at the goalkeeper.
Evalia tries an ambitious pass, Putellas picks it off. Vouty gets in the way of it. And that's clumsy from Caligari. Doesn't need to do that there. Spain now with the ball high at the field. Pina tries a cut back. Wrong choice. Avalia gets it gone. Bene will fight for it. That was rash from Alexandri. And I think she'll get booked for this one.
Yeah.
Just so late. Bene does really well because actually her getting there later was more beneficial because Alexandri thought she was going to get there. Overcommits for it. And yeah, just missed it entirely. That is a nasty one. A silly one. The ball's gone by the time.
Well, she doesn't realise. I think she just leans in. The problem was she's gone from being in a normal position there where she's just expecting to be able to take a touch to realising that Bennett's going to come in, so she just jumps out and tries to get there first. She's got it wrong.
Just overextends, not realising really where Bene is.
I feel a little bit for her there because I think she's been very blindsided and no one's told her that Bennett's right behind her.
Yeah.
But well managed. Switzerland, they're riding their luck a little bit, but that's exactly what that is what you have to do when you play against the bigger sides. They've got away with a couple, they've overplayed it a little bit here and there, but they haven't been punished for it, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, nice play from Switzerland. Going to drop in there for Ona Battier. Now Catalina Cole. Lovely pass out into Paredes. That's what you get from a goalkeeper like Catalina Cole. It's not only that she's a more confident, comfortable shot stopper, but she's also just excellent with the ball at her feet. Isn't she on a yellow from the previous match? I think Alexandra's on a yellow. That would then see her out of the...
It's not ideal.
Of the semi-finals. I mean,
if they get there.
Yeah, it's true.
So, it has to be fair.
Yeah, Alexandra was booked in the opener against Portugal, which is why she didn't play in the final group match because there was that fit. I'm not sure if it wipe going into the knockouts or does it not wipe for the semis. Ball into the box, not dealt with by Reeson. Gonzalez tries to get it to Caldente. Gonzalez now forced backwards. Here is Ona Battier. Caldente, Bonmati, wriggling through, drops for Gallardo. Now Caldente. Tries to find Gallardo again, one back by Iman Bene. Lashed clear, drops to Battier. Now Gallardo. And Avalia getting in the way of that one. Spain get the ball back though. Puteas being pressed high. Great work in there from Valti. Spain have possession once more though. Gallardo out to the left hand side. Here's Olga Carmona. Pina. Gallardo. Pina again. Darts inside. Lovely footwork from Claudia Pina. Gonzalez shuffles it to Pina and a shot towards goal. A tame one. Nigel saying in chat, Alexandri is out for the semi-finals if Spain advance.
Wow. Yeah, again, obviously they've got other players, but it's not what you want.
It's the one position where I look at Spain and go, that's a, other than in goal probably, that's a big step down in quality.
Yeah, that is true.
To Mendes.
I thought Mendes was alright against Portugal, but I don't think she was tested at all.
Well, exactly. You put her up against what is likely going to be France. That's a tough
game. Again, a good example there of how Switzerland are doing where to crowd Spain out in good areas. Like Pina and Gonzalez worked it between each other, but Pina's shot, she only had the room really to fire it wide. If she'd aimed for the target, it'd been blocked.
Yeah.
It's been disciplined from Switzerland so far.
Carmona, Puteas, one back in there by Switzerland. Valti running out of room. Back to Olivia Peng and they'll get away with it. One back in there. High at the pitch by Spain. Bonmati will take game, but that one high and rising.
Again, just didn't get that right. Bonmati bounced up, got under it and hit it on the volley. And I'll tell you what,
I would look back at the penalty. No. It definitely was a penalty. Caldente definitely missed it.
Yeah, Bonmati's got that one wrong. Another piece of good defending though. Initially, was it Caligari backed off, got into Bonmati. Bonmati then made the decision to shoot, and then she's ran at her and made it even more difficult for her. Tell you what, Olivia Payne gets the right way anyway with the penalty.
Yeah. Pina in towards the back post. And that is headed away. They've swapped Pina, by the way, and Caldente. Already, Tom may not have what she's seen. Clearance from Reeson. Falls to Battier. Great tackle that from Velotto. So important to take that ball away from Bonmati on the edge of the box. Paredes. Pina. Back to Irene Paredes, pass inside. Good drop in there for Reuteler. And Switzerland could try and counter now. That's the right-hand side. Schertenleib makes the wide run. Now has to bring her teammates into this one. Goes to Vouty. But again, I don't know what Schertenleib's doing there. She's overplayed it again. And now Spain have a numerical advantage as they come forward. Putellas. Gonzalez. Switches to Pina. Towards the runner, Bonmati. Cuts it across the box. Important intervention from Caligari. But that all comes from Switzerland trying to break and Schertenleib overplaying it. It's happened so much this tournament. She just ran into Vouty because everyone else came forward and she stopped.
Yeah, she's the problem is she hasn't made the adjustment from the league ref. You can't just stop up against a defender and then either burst past them or wait for your teammates to arrive. That doesn't happen at the top level. Spain just got back in and dealt with it. You can't afford to stop when you're breaking away. And yeah, as you say, just overplayed it. I think she was expecting to slow down and be able to burst past Alexandri, but you're not going to do that because it's Alexandri. That's the level you're playing against. Just decision making from Schertenleib at this tournament has just not been good enough. Just overplaying it, trying to do too much.
Ball out to the left-hand side. Olga Carmona. Gallardo. Putellas. Bonmati. It's just lovely twisting and turning. Great block in there from Nomaritz. Not sure how much she knew about it, but she got in the way of it eventually. Schertenleib down in some discomfort here. And this will be a concern for Switzerland.
Yeah, what happened? I just made contact on the knee with Peanut. Knee on knee contact. Gonna be a bit of a sore.
I think it was Gallardo, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Maybe so. Oh yeah, I don't know. Thought it was 20, but it might have not been.
Just because Payne would have been on the other side of the pitch.
Maybe.
But yeah, just coming together there. The Italian team in attendance this evening. Girelli, Caruso, Severini, Cantore. Got nothing better to do than go and watch a game of football.
Fair enough, yeah. In with the Switzerland fans. Yeah, fair enough. Why not, eh? As you say, if you're out there, you're out of the tournament, you might as well go and watch the other games.
Yeah.
If you're local.
If you didn't know loads about women's football, you just watch this game, you think they're just found 4 random people in the crowd because they're not in any different section.
No.
You know, they're not sitting up there with the Prince of Spain or something. They're just sat in the crowd somewhere. All in fairly normal looking clothes.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, they've cut to some of the Swiss fans. I have not seen a Spain fan yet.
Yeah, they put one first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of Barcelona shirts in there as well. Yeah, Schertenleib's really struggling.
But predominantly, it's a Switzerland
it's a massive.
support.
Schertenleib does not comfortable, and again, you've got to be smart. As good as a player as she is, there's no point having anyone out there at 90% because that's not good enough against Spain. You need someone who can run at 110%. So if Schertenleib isn't 100%, okay, then there's no point putting her back out there.
Ball in from Pina, headed away, cannoned away, really, by the header of Nomaritz.
But also, the longer they treat her off the pitch here, the longer Switzerland have got to survive with 10 players.
Yeah.
They've got to make a decision quickly.
Pina nowhere to go, not how to play. Spain at corner again. And Schertenleib thrown back into the fray. Just
doesn't look entirely happy, to be honest.
Yeah, it's once you can run off though. Just become comfortable. She should be all right. Referee's here. It's gonna have a chat with Esther Gonzalez because she stood near the goalkeeper and they're pushing. We're good at this every game.
Yeah. But I love how Reeson's just thrown herself in there as well now. She wasn't involved. The ref stopped the game, so Reeson went, "Tell you what, I'm going to run in there as well." Cause further frustration.
Spain knockout to the edge. Carmona very much got under that one.
Yeah, right idea. Had a lot of space there to work with and probably should have done a little bit better with the effort. Just, again, getting under it, rushing it. That's the kind of effort where if she gets over it, gets her laces through it, could have very easily found the target.
Maritz back to Peng. Now across to Caligari. Lovely footwork in there from Scherten Live. Plays out really well. Now Senegorcevic tries to poke it to Reuteler. Just a miscommunication between herself and Geraldine Reuteler. Ball out to the left-hand side. Here comes Spain now overhit, though, for the runner Mariona Caldente. Gallardo just getting too much on that.
Yeah, good opportunity. Senegorcevic was caught hard at the pitch. Spain just couldn't take advantage of it.
Ball launched forwards. Gallardo to Battier. And is there a forward pass on here for Spain? Bonmati. Paredes. And now Alexandri out wide to Olga Carmona. Caldente back out to the left-hand side. Carmona keeps it in touch well. Dealt with by Reese and out for a Spain throw. Ball forwards looking for Putellas. Flicks it in there. Gonzalez skews it wide.
Yeah, didn't quite get that one right. Good play from Spain again down the left-hand side. What a run that is from Putellas. Ball in's not too bad. But again, well defended by Maritz. Holds Gonzalez still and just comes off her shoulder as she looks to flick it goalwards. Maritz has defended superbly tonight so far. Absolutely superbly. It's just been brave in it. Been bold in the tackle.
Scherten Live. Velotto. Great drive forwards. And Paredes knocks it back to Catalina Gold.
Yeah, that counter threat has just started to dry up a little bit for Switzerland. And again, you know, it now means that we're seeing more consistent pressure from Spain. Switzerland aren't turning the ball over and getting up the pitch as much as they were in the opening stages. And it's just becoming a little bit more relentless from Spain.
Carmona. Ball lifts over the top, looking for Caldente. Run onto her. Vauti and Senegorcevic putting the pressure on, leave space for Putellas inside. Brilliant from Scherten Live. And they can break now, Switzerland. Reuteler. That's a controversial one, giving the way of Alexandri.
I mean, I didn't actually see what happened.
She was dragged down there. Both her and Bene going to deck. I thought she was going to be in trouble.
Let's have a look. So the ball spills out.
Well, I'm trying to make it forward.
Yeah. It's a 50-50, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But Bene goes to initial contact and then just doesn't really get anywhere with it.
Yeah, it's a tough one because the ball isn't in yet. But Bene's going towards the ball and Paredes nudges against her.
Alex, yeah. I think they both just tried to knock into each other and, yeah, it's a difficult one.
Here's Carmona. Caldente gets it, pokes it wide, out for a Switzerland throw. Or perhaps a Spain throw.
Thought initially it did take a touch.
But it looked like it was going the other way. But as Carmona complained more, the ref took her time to make the decision and got what she wanted. And I says, there's been a great conversation about the World Cup and a lot of other stuff in chat. And I was saying the Federation, it's sad to see that Marta may not play the next World Cup.
Yeah, I did see that.
Said the other day.
Would be a shame. But it's also one of those where, as sad as it would be, there's no point Marta going out there if she doesn't feel like, you know, she's at her best, because that would just be sad to see.
Yeah, she'll be 40, won't she, by the time it rolls around?
It's crazy.
Which, I mean, we've seen players at 35 still be brilliant in this Euro, so it's not unfathomable. I don't think we've reached the point yet where the physicality in the women's game is so high that she just can't compete, especially in an attacking midfield role. We've seen Fishlock at 38 still able to work out how well to play at this tournament. It's another matter. You need a lot of players around her to be able to work incredibly hard because you've got to make up for Marta, who wouldn't be able to contribute as much out of possession or as much in terms of work rate. But she's a magical player. So it's a difficult one. Nigel saying it's a shame about China. Used to be a brilliant national side. and the federation's just off investment. Yeah, well, China spent about 5 minutes on football, then got bored when it didn't immediately work, and then put their money into other things. They told everyone in the country, let's put all our money into football. They bought loads of football clubs and spent loads of money, and then suddenly went, we could do other things now, like build nuclear weapons. So everyone stopped investing in football clubs, and that's why we've now got loads of football clubs that are just going to pot because Chinese owners bought them and now don't want them anymore.
Yeah.
So just cut investment off. So, quickly approaching half time here. It's flown by. Switzerland will be very pleased with how they've managed to do so far, but you can't.
It's longing out. It's longing out now as we're getting towards the end of the half. Spain attacks are becoming longer, and the minutes seem to be creeping a lot slower.
That's been cold.
These moments are absolutely key now for the game.
Switzerland have got a target, Alexandre. There's another yellow card in that. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
If they keep running at her, they'll play a Spain team on 10 players, which is a much easier task. Not an easy task, don't get me wrong, but easier. Here's Alexandre. Tries to play on through the lines. Puteas picked up in there by Velotto. Desperate scrambles to try and win it back. Overhit from Cerna out wide. And they'll go for a Spain throw. Puteas. Nice control. Great pressure from Valti. Now again for another Spain throw in, it's Olga Carmona. Goes short to Caldente, back to Carmona. Reuteler forces that ball backwards. Goes to Paredes, who'll carry it forwards now. Under pressure, forced out to the right hand side. Bonmati's there though, now Pina. Wants to come forwards now. Battier tries to cross it. Falls to Bonmati, towards the back post. Caldente. Back across the box, blocked by Reuteler, who messes around with it. Not at all. Gets it going.
So anyway, what they need to do, just keep pouncing on those passes and getting it clear.
Pina. Battier. Bonmati. On the right-hand side. Wants to run at Reeson. Waits the overlap of Battier. Now Battier can put a ball into the box. It'll drip through, and Cerna taking no risks. That one hooked out of play. Spain corner.
Yeah, Switzerland are just getting deeper and deeper now as this half comes to a close, and Spain are putting more and more pressure on.
To be fair, though, they were playing quite considering the circumstances, a decently high line there.
Yeah, I mean, you notice it when they're clearing the ball now, they're not finding anyone. It's going straight back to Spanish defenders because Benet and Schertenleib are having to drop in.
Ball sent forwards. Paredes off the post. Great header, smashed away by Benet. Bonmati, Caldente. Can Spain rework this? Ball in. Benet gets a touch. Spain corner.
How close was that? Another free header for Paredes. I mean, she's unmarked. I mean, that is shocking.
The player you leave unmarked.
She was unmarked before the ball even came in. And then when the ball eventually comes in, she's still unmarked and heads it onto the post.
I'd ignore the rest of the players in the box and put 3 on Paredes.
I mean, how is she unmarked before the corner comes in?
Unbelievable. It's the one player you specifically go player to player for. Ball floats towards the back post. How is Paredes alone again? This time it doesn't quite fall as advantageously. They'll try and break away now with Velotto. Battier up against Velotto. Velotto putting the pressure on. Battier just well to get it back to a goalkeeper. Now Catalina Coll out to the right-hand side. Pina. Tight of control. Wants to take on Reeson. Reeson stands up well. Ball played to Gaiaro. Made the run down the channel. Great pick off there by Schertenleib. Scrap from Ivelia. Falls for Pina. Now Gaiaro. Waits for options. Knocks the ball into the penalty area. Not sure who she's trying to find there, but it's Olivia Peng who is the recipient in the end.
And she will take her time to get rid of this football in no rush whatsoever to start playing out of Switzerland.
Caligari.
Oh no.
Benet made the run and beyond. That's Benet made the run that was needed, really. Can't keep playing into her feet. Nothing's going to happen. Got to get it in behind. Pina. Let's take on Reeson. Overlapping run of Battier into the box. Putas flicks on. Reuteler heads clear. Now Ariona Caldente. Reuteler gets in front of it. Now Bene. Back to Reuteler. Alexandra's got to be careful using her hands like that. Gets away with it. Reuteler up the line. Looking for the run of your man Bene. Paredes knocks him out of play.
Great tackle from Paredes. Timed that perfectly to stop Bene getting away. Because you get there too late and either Bene's in behind or you're picking up a yellow card.
Yeah.
But well played by Switzerland. They're just riding it out at the moment. Still, we'll probably see a couple of minutes added on.
Nice flip round the corner from Vouty. Held back by Carmona. Vouty beats her again. Too easy to take on Carmona like that. Senegorcevic to shirt and knife. Heavy touch in the box. That's the wrong time to have a touch like that.
That heavy touch absolutely killed her.
Cleared away. 2 minutes of additional time. Is there a Switzerland goal late in this first half? This late wave of Swiss pressure. And this will be a huge plus to a positive first half for the Swiss. Senegorcevic. Sends it up the line, looking for Iman Bene. Tries to fight there with Alexandra. Alexandra's trying to see it out. Spain goal kick.
Probably the last thing Switzerland wanted to do with that was to give it straight back to Spain.
Cassie Nicole. Now Paredes. Tries to launch one long. Got to bounce out of play though. For a throw.
Well, that is what Switzerland wanted to do. Watch Paredes smash it off the pitch. And again, take more time out of this first half. Minute to go. Massive minute this now. Just Switzerland have just got to do nothing stupid.
Throwing goes up the line from Senegorcevic. Bene. Nice hold up. Vouty brings under well. Got to be a better switch there to Reeson. She'll get there though. Swiss left wing back. Playing left back today. Ball up the line. Evelia tries to take that into her stride but can't.
Just had to protect the ball. Didn't need to try and take players on. Just needed to protect the ball.
Gallardo. Well, Spain aren't in any rush here.
They're not. That is true.
Paredes. Battier. Now Puteas. 20 seconds left on the clock. Pina. Back to Battier. Here's Aitana Bonmati. Pass into the channel. Puteas forced backwards. Battier tries to find Bonmati. Now Puteas again. Reverse ball doesn't come off. Velotto in the way. Reuteler, and that is the end of the first half. Spain 0, Switzerland 0. A great scrap there from Switzerland. A valiant defensive effort, and they've kept it all square as we head into half-time. Spain, the favourites, silent so far. A missed penalty from Mariona Canate, the greatest opportunity of that first half. But Switzerland, I think, will be immensely proud of what they managed to do, keeping Spain relatively quiet. At the break, it's Spain 0, Switzerland 0.
Well fought from Switzerland in there. They dug in well, had to ride out the waves of Spanish pressure, but they've held firm at half-time. And that was crucial, especially in those latter stages, because you feel as we approached 40 minutes there, Spain were really starting to ramp it up and Switzerland were just starting to struggle. But they hung on in there and they've kept it at 0-0, which is going to be crucial because they've given themselves something to fight with in the second half. Too many times at this tournament and, you know, just in general, we've seen sides allow Spain to get on top early and then they put themselves out of the game. But tonight, by keeping it level at half-time, Switzerland have kept themselves in the game. And it means they've still got something to work with, they've still got something to defend, and they are well and truly in this contest. But a first half that, to be honest, it was probably the most explainable 45 minutes that we've seen of this Euros so far. Spain dominated the ball, had the better chances, had most of the chances, to be honest. But Switzerland held firm, sat deep, defended well, and when they did get the opportunity, they just did spring forward at times. But overall, Spain were in control. Switzerland doing well to deny them so far, though.
Yeah, Spain, 2 shots on target in 45 minutes. That's how you limit Spain effectively. One big chance in this game at all, and that was from the penalty spot. So what Switzerland have done is limited Spain to pot shots. Now, they can still be incredibly dangerous from those situations, but they've limited Spain from chances outside the area, from efforts that have a low chance of going in. They've just done really well to isolate Spain's attackers, by being aggressive in the press, by being able to be solid at the back. It's worked really nicely. What we've seen them do is Vouty often dropping into the back four when they defend, which has worked quite nicely oftentimes. She's just dropping off a little bit, or someone else will drop in there. But yeah, it's worked really well so far. They've made it really difficult for Spain to play through them, so it's worked. It's probably the best defence we've seen of Spain so far.
Yeah,
at this tournament. I mean, Italy wanted to attack a little bit more, so there were some gaps for Spain to exploit. But it's the first time we've seen Spain not score in the first 45 minutes at this tournament.
Yeah, really impressive from Switzerland. And again, they've done exactly what I said they need to do. That is that box defending. They've looked a little bit open in wide areas. We've seen that the overlap from Battier, especially on this left, on Switzerland's left against Riesen, has looked pretty dangerous. But the problem is when Battier crosses it in, there's 7 Switzerland players in the penalty area ready to get rid of it. Yeah. It's been really good box defending. We've seen those combinations on the edge of the area that usually pull off for Spain. Look at the goals against Belgium. The first one from Putellas. Brilliant combination in a tight area on the edge of the area, and Putellas finished it off. But Switzerland have cut those out. And it means that Spain, who love to play the ball centrally, love to create chances in that middle kind of column of the pitch, they're really struggling at the moment to get through there because they get to the edge of the area and there's this Swiss wall just in front of it that stops them getting in there.
Well, what Spain love to do is make the pitch very wide, have their wide players, Pina and Caldente, holding the width or overlapping fullbacks of Battier and Olga Carmona, drop a team onto their goal line pretty much, and then feed balls into that zone 14 to create those chances in the central areas, or obviously just pass into the central areas with tidy combinations. But Switzerland have stopped both of those things. They've been able to stop crosses really effectively by isolating wide players up against 2 or 3 Swiss players at times. They've been able to resist dropping too deep. It's really good organisation in that backline that they haven't dropped too deep so far. We've seen them been able to defend that midfield area, make it really difficult to play out. So yeah, effective stuff so far. Let's get some thoughts on the live chat. Shem, Charlie, Abbey, welcome to the stream. Shem says hosts will be happy with that. Undoubtedly so. Don't think they could have asked for a better score. I think after recent hack down Caldente on 7 minutes, there would have been a bit of fear that was it, and their valiant defensive effort had been thwarted after just 7 minutes. But that was a missed penalty and a lifeline really for Switzerland.
Yeah, 100%. As you say, if that penalty goes in there, then it's probably a completely different game because Spain won them up inside 7 minutes. Most people would have viewed the game almost as over. Obviously, Peter will say it is a little bit lucky that Caldente puts it wide. And one thing I would say is that Olivia Peng did go the right way, and if it had been on target, she would have saved it. So credit to her. Another one where she's watched a world-class penalty taker just put it wide. Ada Hegerberg was obviously the other one in the opening match week, but yeah, well defended. That penalty was a big miss, but Switzerland will be well chuffed with that because it's not like Spain. Yes, they limited Spain well, but Spain still had chances, and that's the problem when you play up against a side like Spain. Is that even when you do manage to kind of thwart them, they still have opportunities. They missed a penalty. Obviously, Paredes hit the post from the corner. One of their shots on target was from the dead ball. There was the free kick that Pina put on target. Well saved by Peng again. And again, Switzerland have just managed to tick all the boxes of an underdog performance. Goalkeeper making some big saves, getting the rub of the green a little bit with the way the ball's falling and with some decisions, but also showing signs of promise and being very resilient. They're doing really well. This is a very, stereotypical defensive solid performance when you are up against a better side from Switzerland. They've done well for 45 minutes. It'll be a big question as to whether they can do it for 90 and obviously 120 if they don't manage to score themselves. But 45 minutes that I think, as you say, the home nation will be well chuffed. That the fans will believe now, and that is the key thing. They've got something to work with. The fans have done really well. It's a brilliant support, absolutely incredible. When the whole stadium is practically in Swiss red, it's going to help the team, and that can just help you. Towards the end of the half, there, Switzerland were up against it, but they kept going. They hung in there, and they kept it at 0-0. Excuse me, and I think that if they can keep that up, if they can keep going, using that fans, using the crowd to keep those energy levels high, then who says they can't hold on forever at this point?
Yeah, they've done really well to minimise Spain's strengths and really play on what they've been able to do. I think you look at that yellow card now for Alexandria, as Johannes mentioned in chat, as I said in the first half, they've got to use that now.
100%.
Can they run players at Alexandria? Because she's either going to have to commit less or she's going to commit another foul. That'll be another yellow card and she's off. And then suddenly the game changes entirely. Switzerland are then the side that should go on to win. If they've got a player advantage, that could be huge. So I think it could become really interesting if Switzerland can focus on that. But so far they've done really well to limit Spain. If they've just got to keep that up, another 45 minutes, get into extra time, make this a test of attrition for Spain. That's how you take this from being from Spain's advantage to the Swiss advantage. Because I think if it comes down to extra time and penalties and it's a test of who can fight harder, that is where you beat Spain. Because they're a very good technical side, but have they got the battle? Have they got it? Have they got the grit to keep going when the going gets tough? That's what's going to be really interesting. I want to grab drinks and something else. That's all right. I'll leave you to give your thoughts. Crack a window opening in this warm studio as well. But only a few minutes now into the second half.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where it's exactly, again, the same principles of an underdog performance. Is that as the longer this game goes on, the game is going to come to Switzerland. It's going to start to play into their hands. We've already seen a little bit of frustration from Spain. And as the game goes on, as Switzerland make it more and more difficult, and as, maybe Switzerland start to have a bit more joy coming forwards, Spain will really start to struggle. And it will go from playing enjoyable, fast-flowing football to, make it really, really difficult. And I think that it's one of those where Spain have got to be careful this game doesn't just start to slip out of their control. I think that obviously it's a difficult one because it's knockout football, and if Switzerland don't come forwards tonight, they're going to have to try and hold on for 120 minutes, and that is a long time to defend as valiantly as they have. But who says that it's difficult, but it's doable? I think that Switzerland need a goal. Realistically, if they wanted to get something from this game, they're going to need a goal. But I just think that without one, Spain will eventually find a way, whether it's in 90 minutes, whether it's in extra time. If Switzerland don't score, they're going to find it difficult to keep Spain out for that long. Obviously, once we get the penalties, it's an absolute lottery. Anything can happen on spot kicks. But I just think that if they manage to get there, that's brilliant for Sweden. But it's going to take a lot to keep this level. For 120 minutes of football. Johanna said the Finland game showed that the Swiss can put off a last-minute turnaround. 100%. And that is important to remember, is that Switzerland have come through everything really to get here. They had a brilliant opening game between them and Norway that could have gone either way. That was a good test against a tough side. Iceland was another really nervy game, but they battled their way through it, and when the pressure was on, they delivered. And the same against Finland. When the pressure was on, they found a way, and that could come into their hands. And again, it's partly down to being the home nation, having the home crowd. But yeah, just overall, when the pressure is on, Switzerland are finding a way to win. They're battling hard, and they're digging in. And that, obviously, that is very different to do against Spain compared to the likes of Finland and Iceland. But overall, it's the same mentality, it's the same principles. If they believe they can win this game, they believe they will get through and manage to knock out the favourites. And if they did manage, I know we're only at half time, so let's not get too carried away. But if they were to manage to pull that off tonight, that would be incredible, like genuinely incredible. Yeah. And England were on the ropes yesterday, and if they'd lost to Sweden, that would have been a big result. But if the hosts were to knock out the favourites, that would just be even bigger.
Oh, absolutely. It'd be an incredible achievement. No one is expected to beat Spain at this tournament, really. But so for Switzerland, as I do, definitely aren't expected to do so. If they can pull it off, that's a completely different equation. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be tough for them to keep this up, but they've done well so far. So, who's saying they can't keep going? Spain, I think the big advantage to them is they're going to have changes to come. So, what can they do to try and combat that will be the big question. Yeah. What can Swiss change in this second half? How can they keep fighting? As Code Laser says, and as I alluded to earlier, Swiss men knocked out France before. Exactly. Switzerland have it now, have that ability to knock out the favourites of the tournament. They did it last summer in the men's Euros. Can they do it now in this women's Euro?
They're starting to write a name for themselves as the giant killing nation. Sweden have always been one, but obviously they're now out. But I mean, it would be incredible to even if you take away the element of knocking out Spain, to get through to the semi-finals on home soil would be absolutely brilliant to see. It would be incredible for the women's game in Switzerland. I think that the crowds we're already seeing and the support that we've seen, the fan walk to the ground was absolutely phenomenal. To see the whole city just brought to a standstill for this match tonight is exactly what you want to see. It's exactly why these tournaments are hosted in countries like Switzerland, because that is a first. It's brilliant to see. And I think just getting through to the last four tonight for Switzerland would be an amazing achievement, and would be very, very encouraging for the Swiss fans and for people who want to get involved in the women's game, in and from Switzerland. Obviously, Spain, just to touch on them for a bit, I think that the reason we haven't really touched on them is because they won't be concerned at all. They knew tonight would be difficult. They knew Switzerland were going to sit deep and that they would defend with quality and they would be resilient. But the Spain will back themselves to find a way. There's a reason they're the world champions. There's a reason why they're the best side in the world right now. It's because they have the quality, they have the squad depth, and they have the ability to just turn it on like that, and suddenly they're 3-0 up. And that could easily happen in this second half. Spain could come out and absolutely, and dominate. And right now they won't be worried. If we get to 60, 70 minutes and it's still 0-0, then we'll start to see that frustration grow. Obviously, the subs will come on and there will be changes happening. And that's Switzerland's job, is to just keep holding on. First 5 to 10 minutes of the second half is absolutely crucial. It's the 10 minutes where the underdog side are the most vulnerable, because when you've defended for 45 minutes, you've got to get right back up to speed in the second half. And if you don't do that, then Spain will punish. So massive moments coming up now for Switzerland. They have to get it right. They have to make sure that they are right back to that high level as soon as that second half whistle goes. And I think they will be. They've been up for it already, and I think they've done well. This kind of unorthodox personnel selection has actually not been too bad for Switzerland so far.
No, I don't. I think it's very much been matching players up to what matching profiles, what the jobs they needed done in the roles tonight, which is exactly what other teams haven't done. So it's not necessarily that players are playing out of position. It's just they're playing in positions they needed to for tonight. It may not be their natural position, but it's what they need from them in a game like this. What I would say is I probably have said someone like Shimai would have been a better option up front than Iman Bene. Yeah, because Bene struggled for physicality, but equally when they have had those very few opportunities to break, Bene's been a huge reason as them being able to carry it forwards at all. So goes both ways really. They've not been able to hold it up, but they have been able to break away occasionally. Referee blows a whistle. Spain will get us back underway. Don't think many people saw us to be in this situation. No, referee hasn't blown a whistle. Now she will. Gonzalez knocks it back, going back underway. Another 45 minutes here in this game for Spain to try and find a goal. Deadlock remains intact after 45. Switzerland have done well to fight so far. Can the hosts hold on? Or will Spain show their superiority? Ball out to the right-hand side now with Claudia Pina. Back to Battier. Pina again. Waits for the overlapping run. Now to Ona Battier. Into Bonmati. Finding space in his wide right area. In towards Gonzalez. A bit of a mess in the box. Dealt with well by Caligari. Shot then from the oncoming Patrick Ayara. But it's a floater. And it's claimed well by Penn.
It's exactly what I said. You've got to start fast with the underdogs. Spain coming at Switzerland already. Putting a dangerous ball into the box. Got away a little bit there. Wasn't dealt with convincingly. But the ball managing to eventually to find its way into the arms of Peng. Schertenai bringing it forwards. Wrong decision again. Should have gone left and has held on to it for too long. But she
does find Serna Gorcevic though. Right to that. Serna Gorcevic.
Absolutely killed the counter-attack again. Schertenai. Just slowing it down too much at the moment.
Now Reeson. Great pressure from Pina. Takes it past one. Still carrying it forwards, Claudia Pina. Patrick Gallardo. Looking to switch the play. Finds Olga Carmona on this left-hand side. Pass inside to Puteas. Now Carmona. Forced backwards. Alexandri. Paredes. Back to Alexandri. Is there a forward pass on? Goes wide into Mariona Caldente. Carmona. Caldente. Bonmati. Wants to come inside. Forced back out wide. Now Alexandri. Tries to play a ball through the lines, and Senegorcevic smashing a shot into Carmona, and that's out now for a goal kick. So Spain still unable to find a route through. Switzerland remaining ardent in defence so far. And Livia Peng will launch this forwards. Schertenleib struggles to hold that ball up. Alexandri. Schertenleib down with a head injury. And that will be a free kick now.
Yeah, I think she got lumped into there. I'm not sure whether she just stopped the game or whether she played on. It wasn't a nice one. Just kind of got to the ball first and got headed in the back. I mean, it is a foul. Hopefully it should have been given. Alexandri's just got to be careful, though. It's another one.
Well, yeah.
Just a little bit too aggressive. But you're spot on. If they keep running at her, they keep trying to attack Alexandri.
Free kick into Valti, a risky one, but it's come off. Bene back towards Valti, cleared away by Bonmati. That's the sort of thing where they play that riskily, but if it comes off, they get into a really good position. Didn't quite, the final ball wasn't quite there. Final link up, but they did well.
Yeah.
Alexandri. Now Olga Carmona looks to play it up the line, back to Carmona. Alexandri. Now Puteas out to the right-hand side. Here's Ona Battier. And Evalia will try and force her back. Now Bonmati. Squares it, looking for Caldente. Picked off by Reuter, who'll drive the ball forwards. Now Bene. Nice turn. Coming forwards with danger. And that's really good for Alexandri to pounce on Schertenleib. Schertenleib just not aware of that pass coming forwards. Didn't anticipate it well enough. Across into the box, blocked into the path of Livia Peng.
I have to say, I think bringing Senegorcevic in at right wing back or right back has been a big boost to Switzerland. I think Bene is very good, but she's very aggressive, very attacking.
I also think bringing Stiola out, who's been one of the biggest problems for Switzerland in her rash defending and quite aggressive style, that it's left them a little bit shortchanged. It's left space and it's conceded fouls in good areas. So I think it's made them more defensively solid. Yeah. Ball chipped over the top, will drop in there, looking for Gallardo, poked away by Valti, picked off there, a poor pass from Paredes by Sydney Schertenleib now, wants to run at Alexandri. She'll take a shot from range. Was that needed? Will be the question. Let's go up into the Swiss fans. Not sure why she's gone for that there.
Never going to score from there. Decision making.
It wasn't off her line enough.
Again. I mean, and again, I don't like digging into individual players, but it's not just been tonight. It's been the whole tournament for Schertenleib. I just don't think it's been good enough.
Played like she's the only one on the pitch.
Yeah.
Not use her teammates.
I mean, what was that?
That was Switzerland's best chance to try and break away, and she's just smashed it in the hope that she's going to score from 40 yards.
It's just not going to happen.
Fired Ibrahim up to the street. Is this
well done, Valti. Well done,
Valti. It's fouled.
Because that was a interesting ball for Peng to try and play that. Because Caldente was right behind the defensive midfielder, but really good play from Valti. Gets her body in the way and wins the free kick. She knows she was going to lose that ball. Does so really well.
I'm not sure she looks to get fouled. If anything, she looks to try and roll the defender in that same move. Obviously, Caldente just coming in aggressively. Moritz tried to play it forwards out for a Swiss throw. Blocked well. A lot of hate for Moss in the chat. Love it.
What's wrong with moths?
Alex hates their scales. Alyssa just hates them.
Have we got to that point in the match?
About scales.
Yeah. What moths have you got?
That have scale.
But yeah. 51 minutes into a quarter final, people had enough.
Alex says, yeah, moths give off scaly powder if you touch them.
Well, funnily enough, I don't really go around touching them, to be honest, too often.
Great stuff. But yeah.
Switzerland have done well. They've got right back up to speed. They've settled into the game again. And they're looking a lot more positive than they were towards the end of that first half. They were starting to tire at the end of that 45 minutes.
Smash throw, recent.
I love that. Take it quickly before they make the decision.
Valia wasn't ready for it, though. So I was having to give a foul away to avoid Spain transitioning there.
Yeah, just wasn't prepared. Pina picks up on it, trips her up.
Nigel letting us know they've got scales on their wings. So there we go.
Lovely.
We all know something new about moths now. Here's Olga Carmona. Puteas pass inside to Patrick Gallardo. Sheraton live. Velotto. Here's Reuteler. Tries to drive inside. And cleared forwards.
She was fouled as has been given. Really well managed from Switzerland so far. As I said, they've come out well at the second half. Spain are just starting again. I mean, I'd love to see the foul numbers for Spain. They must be in double digits by now.
Only 8 committed. 5 for Switzerland.
Fair enough. Not as many as I thought, but yeah, it's been quite a few just more frustration fouls from Spain than anything else.
Ball played forwards, one back in there by Levati. Looking for Iman Bene. Putting Paredes under it, and Paredes hooking it out of play.
Tell you what, for a player that isn't a natural number 9, Bene has done really well to just hassle. It's all she's done. Hassle Alexandra and Paredes all night. And because of it, she's won free kicks. You know, she's won throw-ins, corners, the whole lot. Has battled really hard up there.
Puteas. Paredes, now Alexandra. Out to the left-hand side, pass forwards into Caldente. Battier. Carries it up the line now, Pina. Pass back to Paredes. Pina. Caldente. Pina back to Paredes. Ball out wide. Great anticipation from Reeson. Scrapping away with Pina. Gallardo coming away with the ball. Tries to play it forward to one back in there by Switzerland. Valti. The problem we're finding continuously in this game, and it's why I think a few people in chat saying that it's not been the most exciting game, is that you've got one team who just aren't interested in attacking.
No.
And one team that are just so obsessed with possession they don't want to take too many risks.
Yeah. Switzerland don't want any rhythm. Switzerland are stopping this game becoming rhythmic. And by that, usually you see end-to-end stuff, the ball's flowing brilliantly, both sides are going for it. But Switzerland are taking any opportunities to kick the ball out of play, win a free kick, halt the game, take pace out of it. And again, you can't blame them.
Yeah. Ball flick through by Caldente, one back in there.
In terms of, you just have to look at it through...
Puteas breaks away from Reuteler. Tries to get past Senegal, which they just keep scrapping away, and they're almost falling over each other there, Switzerland trying to get the ball out. Caligari into the channel. Sheraton live. Tries to find Bene. Gallardo feeds it through. Gonzalez. I got caught out with this faint flag there waving. I thought that was offside. Wrong position entirely. Battier. Now Pina. Kante Kane. Claudia Pina. Flashes one wide.
That's the first time.
Got to be careful of.
Yeah, that's the first time that she's been allowed to get half a yard in the penalty area. Just knocks it out of her feet. Really good. Shuffles it onto her weak foot.
Riesen struggled tonight.
Yeah, she has.
Really struggled.
Agreed.
Playing that deeper role, just not suited to it at all. And
No.
just trying to mark players, that 1v1 defending, and just gets caught out too easily.
Yeah.
Jumps in, dives in too much. It's what we saw for the penalty. It's what we saw there. She got caught out because she jumps in. Pina takes it past her. Again, fortunate she hasn't wiped her out in it.
Yeah, people may look at it. There hasn't been that much action, but from a tactical point of view, and from when you think of the game in the way it's meant to be played, it has been a really.
Comes Switzerland shut up. That's so strong from Gallardo. Up against a teammate at club level, but opponent this evening in Sydney, Scherten Live.
Just, I don't know. I think the whole tournament has been too passive from Scherten Live.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say, brilliant defending from Gallardo, but Scherten Live hasn't even tried to commit.
Is it a case of just too much weight and expectation on an 18-year-old who's, only just moved to Barcelona back in last summer?
I don't know who's putting that weight on her. Herself, I suppose.
I think a lot of the media, a lot of the fans would be expecting a lot from Scherten Live. I remember talking to Craig before the tournament, who's a Swiss football expert, and he was saying that I think the nation's expecting Scherten Live to impress at this tournament.
Yeah,
and be the star player for this Switzerland, be the focal point of the attack. And that just hasn't really materialised. Well, yeah, Geraldine Reuter stepped up massively.
But yeah, I think if you view the game as what it's meant to be, it has been a brilliant defensive performance from Switzerland and, some lovely football from Spain. But obviously everyone, I get that a lot of people are here for action, not here for just us to sit here and go, that's brilliant defending.
Yeah. Calente wants to come inside now. Plays a pass through looking for Gallardo.
Got away with that one, Switzerland.
Now Palotto finds Scherten Live. Can't quite control that one.
That was the first time in the match where we kind of saw 4 Switzerland players just go, oh, never mind, someone else will deal with it. And then no one dealt with it.
Olga Carmona. A pass back to Alexia Putellas. Lifts the ball in there. Gonzalez heads towards goal. Wide again, though. She's not had much to work with, Gonzalez, this evening. The balls into have been ones that she's tried to turn goalwards, but none of them incredible opportunities.
That is, yeah. It's not a bad ball from Putellas, but just it wasn't
on top of it. It's not what she needs.
It wasn't for the run. It was a great ball in. There was someone running in from deep, but Gonzalez was going backwards. The ball was curling away from her, and she was somehow meant to head it towards the goal.
It's one of those which she sort of needs to just head down to her teammate, but no striker in the world is going to do that.
Of course not.
Gallardo. So maybe Havertz.
100% think Switzerland need to be looking at changes because they're in this window now where the game is there is a chance.
Phil Sundhausen has been the latest with their subs. I haven't got any numbers behind that, but I feel like she's been incredibly reactive rather than proactive. Bonmati looking for the wide runner. Pina, great block from Riesen. That's out for a corner now though. And everyone will start looking at Irene Paredes now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Sunday took her 70 minutes to get the subs on against Iceland, and they immediately made an impact. But that would be too late tonight. I think. Got to be proactive. Got to be sharp with the changes. Keep those Switzerland energy levels high.
Chance now again for Spain. Ball in towards the back post. Gallardo across goal, off the bar. How is it not off the post? Paredes can't turn it in, and a flurry of action. But Spain can't quite score.
How on earth has that not gone in? Gallardo again. So Gallardo this time was the one left completely unmarked at the back post. Heads it in.
Off the post. Drops for Gonzalez.
Oh my days.
Other post. Paredes can't get there. Vauti hooking it away.
Switzerland defending corners have been shambolic tonight. They just keep leaving players free. And obviously VAR having a look through the whole incident to see if there is anything in there. It was a very clumsy one.
At straws, I feel.
Yeah, they've got to check it. It was a mess. I think there might have been a big save in there from Livia Peng.
Justin says 0-0. What's going on, guys? Switzerland parking the bus. Just really good, disciplined, structured performance.
Again, Gallardo completely unmarked.
I'm not sure why they've stopped marking Patrick Gallardo. This one headed away, though, by Vauti. Much more convincing. Velotto will get there. Nice control. Tries to shift it to Reuter. Doesn't quite come off, but it's cleared away. Putellas will try and keep that in.
Yeah.
But that has gone.
Lotte did the right thing there. She could have just tried to smash it over the top and into empty space, but she'd well try and hold it up.
Spain bringing subs, and that is Athenia and Leia Uahabi. Switzerland also bringing subs. That is Pilgrim for Ivelia. So, go figure.
The wonderful...
Presumably Scherten live wide now.
Maybe.
Pilgrim to lead the line, Benny to the right side.
I mean, the wonderful world in Pearson Dunham's head continues.
If no one else understands, if I don't understand what we're doing, no one else can. So let's just roll. Let's see what happens. Calante off for Athenia, by the way, and Uahabi on for Olga.
Fair enough.
So pretty much like for like changes, apart from I feel Athenia is probably a little more direct than Calante, which is what they need at this stage of the game.
Yeah, you don't need someone to be a creator. Usually
Athenia's about to find the ball in behind. Pilgrim's running onto this. Coming off the bench, big chance for Switzerland. Takes aim. Good stop from Kathleen Cole. Benet will try and get there.
Flags up.
Flags up for offside. Pilgrim went too early.
But again, that's positive. That is it won't count as a first shot on target, but really good play. We know she's onside, so that's a bit unfair to be fair.
If it scored, it would have gone to VAR.
Brilliant run, and she hit it well. Put it on target, forced a good save out of Catacol.
And Nigel, VAR is in every round. It's just not being used well, apparently. Yeah, no, we do have VAR in every round of the European Championships. It is the Women's Champions League that only uses it in the knockouts, but this season, as we move to a new format, I believe it's going to be used from the group stage onwards, which will be very interesting to see, because if certain teams get through, not sure how they're going to make that work.
Yeah.
But I look forward to finding out. Here comes Switzerland. Scherten live, can't beat Gallardo. And now Spain will try and play, decide to play out of there. Gallardo. Little bit of a late reaction from Gallardo. There's that Pilgrim tackle, and Pilgrim will get the yellow card for it.
Yeah, just arriving there late, but Pilgrim's brought energy. That's what she's done.
I mean, she can't make a tackle.
Oh, yeah. That was a bit of a silly
one.
Too much energy, if anything, there. Came in, has come on, wanting to be,
I'd like to see an angle that shows her hitting
she does get... It's Gallardo's got green boots, so it does look like she stamps the ground. But no, she did catch the top of her foot from the other angle. But yeah, that one just looked like she stood on the grass.
Here is Alexandri.
So yeah, Pilgrim has gone through the middle.
As expected, Scherten live stays no position. Benet's just gone to left wing.
Oh, yes.
Don't feel like it's the best out of him and Benet, but there you go.
I think
she swapped Reuteler and Benet at that point.
I think Benet's just facilitating at the moment. Another foul. Paredes this time.
I think she's never going to get a second yellow card for that. So if that is Alexandria, so she's done it a few times tonight where she just barreled in something, but you're never going to get a second yellow for that.
Gorthwich and Paredes disagreeing a bit there. I mean, yeah, that is a foul. I'm not really sure what the complaints are. I mean, Senna Gorsuch didn't really get involved. But I don't mind that. Just starting to, chirp up a little bit. Start getting a few comments thrown out here and there.
Gretchen says Pilgrim reminds me of Trinity Rodman. What, in terms of looks? Yeah, just not in...
If she played like Trinity Rodman, then I'd tell you what's going to be in trouble.
Ball down the line, Reuteler. Hasn't played inside, picked off there by Uahabi. And Switzerland out of shape now. Athenia tries to beat one, cleared away. Now Uahabi. Down the line, here's Claudia Pina. A pass inside, Bonmati. Can't quite get there, drops for Gallardo. Bonmati. Athenia squeezes it home and Spain leads. They've taken their time, but a big impact substitution. It's Athenia coming on. What they need in this game, someone a bit more direct, got into the right position. Nice touch on from Aitana Bonmati, and that's Spain 1, Switzerland 0.
Brilliant run from Athenia and an instant impact from the subs bench. But it's the first time tonight that Switzerland just lost their discipline.
Yeah.
Didn't quite see who it was, but they just stepped up, double committed to the same football, and left a massive space in behind, which Athenia ran into and stopped it past Peng. Who is it here? So the ball comes back in, and they both jumped up onto it.
Caligari and Moritz, the first time they've both gone for it.
Moritz has already stepped up there to win the ball. I'm not sure why Caligari has joined her there. Doesn't need to jump in there.
That's so
wriggles out kindly, and Athenia slotted it past Peng. Brilliant finish.
Just goes chasing it wildly. And Bonmati, it's such a nice back heel, but that should never be allowed to happen.
No.
Caligari. That's really poor. And it's broken what's been an impenetrable Switzerland defence so far in this game. 66 minutes, jumps up inexplicably, gives the space to Anthony to break in behind too. She finished it off really nicely.
She does. But again, it's exactly what Spain do as well.
Panic.
Touch of class.
Reuteler. Into the channel. Great ball in towards Pilgrim to try and get there. Cole out quickly. I feel that's got to be lifted into the box. I don't think it's a bad ball, but could this have just gone direct into Scherten Live?
Maybe.
Tough to say.
But yeah, that's all it took. Touch of class from Spain, and they find that goal. Back heel from Bonmati, absolutely sublime, and a really good finish from Athenia. And it's the Spain's fans who are celebrating now.
Tidy stuff. Bonmati.
That's what she does. That makes a difference. Makes a difference. Makes something so difficult look so easy.
Yeah. She was gifted by Caligari jumping up, but it's a tidy piece of work. And the reason Caligari jumps is because it's icon of Bonmati on the ball.
Yeah.
Just run at her. But it's a shame. Switzerland have defended valiantly. Now they've got to try and hold on for a bit at 1-0 and then look to score, really.
Yeah, this is where the test comes. We've seen sides kind of just fall away a little bit once Spain get one.
Yeah.
Important now, because if Switzerland do hang in there, they could get something. Ball
in behind. Pilgrim will chase it. Catacol off her line. Well, not most convincing clearance, but no one up in support for Switzerland. Uwahabi. That's where you want Shetland to pick up the ball and try and shoot from 40 yards.
Yeah.
When Catalina Cole just shins it away unconvincingly. Bonmati. That's the right-hand side with Nathania.
It's like Bonmati's just turned up.
It's the first time they've given her licence to thrill.
Yeah.
And she did well. What do you expect? Here is Lea Alexandri. Paredes.
This is good from Spain. This is management. They've got their goal. They don't need to risk. Their biggest problem.
Pina wants to take on Caligari in towards Bonmati. Good defending. Pina's fired at her bodies there, probably in the hope of just striking a hand and getting another penalty. Here comes Switzerland. Scherten Live plays it in behind. I think Pilgrim's gone too early, but we'll have to wait and see. Holds the ball up. Ref. Oh, Lana's got flag up immediately.
Yeah.
Must have been convincingly offside.
That one was pretty obvious. But yeah, I think Pina's shot there is actually blocked by her own teammate in Gonzalez. But yeah, Spain are doing really well now. They've looked most vulnerable when they've immediately scored. Belgium equalised straight away. Italy equalised straight away. So they're doing well now.
Italy led, didn't they? And then Spain equalised straight away.
Oh yes, that is a good point. But yeah, they're just doing well now to just manage it, to hold on, and to make sure that nothing silly happens, and then they'll go again. I mean, still got 20 minutes. They'll be hoping that they can get a couple more just to seal this game. Switzerland, also, I think both sides are happy just to hang on for just to play the game out for the next 5-10 minutes, and then Switzerland will start to go for it.
Yeah, Spain in possession.
Switzerland just got to find that balance.
Great lift in behind from Paredes. Headed away. Vauti caught in possession. Ref didn't help there. Falls for Claudia Pina. Will take it. It's another rocket from Claudia Pina. Arrowed it in the top corner. And that's Spain 2, Switzerland 0. I feel for Lea Vauti there. I think the refs got in her way, and that's what she's frustrated about.
I do feel for them, but Switzerland just stop. It is absolutely sublime. Absolutely sublime from Claudia Pina once again. Stepping up. Scoring another. She only scores worldies. I'm convinced that Claudia Pina can only score worldies. Yellow card as well to Pia Sundhage.
A complaint there about the ref's positioning. Ref hasn't taken that kindly.
No.
Yellow card.
It is a frustrating one. And now Vauti's trying to talk to the ref and the ref's having none of it. But she does get in the way there. And to be fair, I think they're also arguing that there's a bit of a foul in there from Gara. But
why does she stop and complain about it? She lets Pina take the ball away.
Switzerland just switch off completely.
That's so poor position from the ref.
Vauti stops.
I hate that from Vauti. No one closes Pina down. She's just an arrow on top corner. I mean, what do you expect?
They've stopped.
You stop playing, you let Vauti do it.
Oh, it's...
Let Pina do it. So, I mean, I understand Vauti's complaints, but you don't stop playing. let that be settled afterwards by VAR if it goes in, but you can prevent the goal there just by tackling Claudio Pina.
Yeah.
Pilgrim. And that's game over. Spain, more than likely through.
It's really sloppy from Switzerland, but class.
Caught again.
From Spain.
Drags back Puteas. Yellow card for Switzerland's captain. This is going to get ugly because Switzerland have just lost out a little.
Yeah.
And Spain have just kicked up again.
Yeah, it's what Spain do to you. When you defend so well for 60 minutes and then concede, you get frustrated because you feel like all your hard work's been undone. And that's exactly what Switzerland are experiencing right now, and they are falling apart because of it. And when you start to fall apart at Spain, they think, thank you very much, we're going to tear you to shreds now. And again, it is as simple as that. It went from being a 0-0 competitive game, well, not competitive, but it was level, and in the space of 7 minutes, 2 goals from Spain, and they've killed it off. That's exactly what they do.
Merciless from Spain. Here's Uahabi. Goes in and out. Now trying to find a pass back to Pina, cut out by Reuter. Shirt and live. Great hold up. Alexandri's got to go. How she got away with that? She's just pulled back Shirt and live there. That's a second yellow.
Free kick has been given.
So that is her 4th now since she got booked. Unbelievable. Changes coming. That is Vandela for Switzerland.
Vandela and a note. And the note is going to Senegorcevic.
And so it's recent coming off. Presumably then, I would say... I've got no idea what they're going to do here. Find out in a moment.
So now it's gone to Vouty.
So they've got to go for it, really, haven't they?
And now they're orchestrating some instructions.
There's a midfield 2.
Or she's just giving it all away. What was the point in the note if she was then going to sign what's going on? So they've gone, 4-2-4?
Looks it, yeah. Got to go through this stage.
Yeah.
Vandela one wing, Benny the other. Shirt and live and Pilgrim up front together. Need a goal. Caligari. Oh no, Bennett's playing right back. Ball up the line. Pilgrim gives chase. Yeah, forget Roy was still on the pitch. So Senegorcevic has gone to left back. Bene dropped in at right back.
Yes.
Uahabi. Oh, this one's a stat on touch in the opposition box. I can find it.
30.
It is 52.
Wow.
To 5.
Wow. That is just absurd.
541 passes to 199.
Just ridiculous. 52 touches in the opposition box.
21 shots. 2.97 expected goals.
Just when you consider one of those goals as well came from a chance that would have generated barely any.
But what I will say is I think Spain have struggled to create big chances tonight. You know, you take away the penalty, they've created 2.
They have.
And that was a goal line scramble.
But they don't need to. That is the thing.
But yeah, I get that. But if they play... What we've seen in this performance is that if they play against a defence who don't panic and jump up and they're disciplined, they will struggle. They can struggle to create chances, which is exactly what Dante... They've got through that because Claudio Pierce put one top corner and Caligari panicked. But in both occasions, there was a mistake directly leading to it from a Switzerland player.
Yeah.
The rest of the times, which have been excellent, I have to say.
Contentious.
3 big chances created. One was a penalty. One was a goal while scramble, and the other was the goal for Athenia.
Yeah.
Yeah, comes Switzerland. I mean, ultimately, when you're as clinical as Spain are, you don't even need a big chance to score a goal, but it shows they're not creating incredible chances tonight. And the ones they have come directly from Switzerland errors. Here's Reuter. I mean, I sort of get, that's football. You've got to try and force errors, and that's become from Spain being so good. Bene.
Well, England were in the same position last night.
Now Vouty, but that's an This is an underdog rather than
it is very different.
Probably the favourite to win the tie,
but it is doable.
Both hosts. England hosted the last Euros. Doesn't host this one.
Both wearing white.
Play into it at all. Not really. I mean, 2 minutes until they need to start doing what England did.
Yes.
Who is their Chloe Kelly? It would have been Vandal, you feel. Come on, that sort of impact.
She just picked the ball up, had a shot from 30 yards and put it well over the bar.
I like Johannes' comments saying, I guess Fauci isn't going to be the next 007 anytime soon with that kind of indiscretion around secret intelligence.
Yeah.
Indeed. Or with this giving up there to allow Peanut to score, and now Claudio Peanut making way.
I mean, it is an absurd finish from a ridiculously good player. It's just incredible how every time she ends up in that position, because I've never seen her put those like over the bar. They always end up in the top corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, Switzerland were annoyed that in the fashion they conceded that second goal because it put them out of the game.
Oh, good. We get to watch Paraguay up front. And Vicky Lopez coming onto the left-hand side as well. So Gonzalez and Peanut coming off. Nigel says, are we going to see the Insta model? She hasn't played a minute at the Euros yet, has she?
Yeah.
Has she come on?
Gone on against Finland.
I
think she got the pre-assist for the Giamatti goal that sent them to the Euros. So maybe she should play today. That's the reason. Get that trending. Why is Switzerland not fail at this Euros? They've got the quarterfinals and put on a good show against
Not
Spain.
enough Alicia Lehmann for your liking.
Not for my liking. No. There's not. No.
Harry wants more Alicia.
No. I want less. She shouldn't be on the plane.
Lopez. Pass now to Putellas. Lovely exchange with Battier. Now Alexandri.
I've said it before. I think I've said it on all the other streams. But I'll say it again. Watching Spain play football, it's like an art form. It's just so classy. Just so nice to watch.
Ball chipped in behind that. Will run through to Catalina Cole. Listen, how's going to get cancelled for that, Jack? Oh, yeah. That looks bad against the brand name, doesn't it? Apparently gets cancelled. Being an Alicia Lehmann fanboy.
Right.
Paredes pass through the lines. Athenia drives it forward, one back in there by Normaritz. Over Harvey. Alexandri. Now Paredes. Looking for that forward pass. Now Lopez. Carrying it forwards well. Skips past him and Bene. Love watching Lopez play. Over Harvey. Bonmati. Trying to wriggle her way through there. Alexandri, strong tackle from Paredes. Gallardo lifting it over the top, looking for Putellas. And that has come off Putellas. That's out for a goal kick.
Switzerland are struggling. They've lost energy. They've lost legs. And I think most importantly, they've lost belief. They are struggling. So you notice when they're getting back in there, they've gone from sprinting back to, I mean, how is that a goal kick?
Yeah, I did question that.
Again, we mentioned it last night. We mentioned it at the tournament. That just refereeing at this Euros has been so bizarre.
Attendance of 29,730 for another sold out game.
Incredible.
This isn't the biggest stadium, is it?
No.
They've got a 40k.
But yeah, it's just the standard of officiating this tournament has been so poor. Again, big decisions tonight have gone right. The penalty, the goals, but just the little things have been like just really weird.
That's no idea. It's just another sellout of over 29,700 of the women's Euros, but apparently no one cares about women's football. Yeah, I know. And a new record of the highest combined attendance for that across the whole knockout, or just the quarterfinals?
Across the quarterfinals. And we've still got a quarterfinal to go. Absolutely incredible.
It keeps shattering records. It's already got the highest cumulative attendance of any tournament.
Yeah. And I think that is important to note, because as good as the England tournament was for England, the games between the other countries weren't as high attended, but this tournament...
I think this is the difference of having it on mainland Europe.
Yes, that is true.
It's so much easier to travel there, whereas getting to England, it's like trying to break into Alcatraz with Well, I think most people complain about the border force, but to go there legally, it's difficult.
That's when we did crocodiles swimming around England.
I think that's probably what Farage wants. Reuteler. Or just turrets on the beaches.
But it has been a brilliant tournament. And I think it's been brilliant to see the support for the host, but also to see the support out there for the other nations, especially the smaller nations. Wales, brilliant. Poland, brilliant. Finland as well. Finland, Iceland, they managed to sell out. They were put in the smaller grounds, but they still managed to sell them out and put good numbers in them.
Yeah. I was just looking at the Italian players in the crowd and thinking, if they weren't footballers, what would they be? Immediately, I had Ariana Caruso, tennis player.
Yes, 100%.
Looked like a tennis player to me.
Yeah.
Torelli, some sort of rock star.
Yeah.
Got the hair going on. That was a foul from Serna Gorsevic, bringing down Athenia.
3rd yellow card of the night. 4th, if you include Pearson Dodge. Switzerland just starting to struggle. Hopefully they don't concede again, because as you say, it's starting to turn to one of those games where we get to full time. It's like, how Spain won this 5-0.
Yeah. Yeah, so the England tournament also showed a bit of COVID-related travel hesitancy, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's probably the case. It's also like it was rearranged it was pushed back a year and stuff like that, so it had its challenges, but
it's not the best kind of like compared to Switzerland. Come on. If you're a European fan coming over to England,
all into the box, headed away while by man Bene.
Especially if you like playing in Bristol. No offense to anyone who lives in Bristol, but it's an interesting place.
Yeah, chances of work. The last Euro final, women's football keeps growing each year. It definitely does. It's great to see, and countries are getting more competitive now. It should be 2 very good semi-finals, indeed.
That is also a good point. I think that at Euro 2022, there were some nations who turned up and just couldn't compete.
But I think we saw at World Cup 23 the difference, because no longer were teams like Haiti showing up and losing 14-0 to the US and ridiculous results like that.
New Zealand turned up and beat Norway. Australia got to the semi-finals.
We'll see more of this, and it's a rise in player quality, but more specifically, I think a rise in coaching quality.
Yes.
I think we've gone from the top sides being coached well and training hard. To...
Jamaica, Lorne Donaldson, got them to the knockouts, and they only narrowly lost to France. Yeah, that was just Khadija Shaw and vibes.
Dancing all the time.
Yeah.
No, it says if anyone wasn't banned in 50 years. Very true. Very true, Nigel. Now, Paredes. Now, Alexandri. Puteas. Uahabi. Back to Alexandri. Knocked out of play there by I must have got Puteas in the end.
Spain just seeing this out. Switzerland realising that this is probably the end of their tournament.
Yeah.
Has Spain made all the changes? Yes.
Yeah, Spain have.
Yeah. Again, doing well. We say, I'll keep saying it. You win a Euros, you win major tournaments with your squad, not your first 11. And Spain have shown that across the group stage and across tonight. Didn't find a goal. They bring on Athenia. She provides the first. It's exactly what they they rotate the squad pre-match week 3. Still got the win. They're doing really well, Spain, to use all 23 players rather than just the same 11.
Yeah. Lopez. Uahabi. Now Athenia wants to beat him out. Bene. Ball across, looking for Vicky Lopez. Can she squeeze a shot towards goal?
Penalty.
Just
brought back.
Which was the spot.
Yeah, it was a foul. Ref allowed it to play on, but Athenia was caught.
Down. And Spain with a chance to add to their advantage.
Again, it's rash, it's silly from, was it Bene? Just so unnecessary at this point in the game to dive in on Athenia. I mean, so late.
Into the box.
Well, it's not a good one either. That really is not a good tackle at all. Oh.
Yeah, that's horrible. Just gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Panics youngster diving in. And for a second time now, Spain have a chance to add to their tally.
Who takes this one?
From the spot. Putas?
Probably.
She's got the ball in her hands.
Yeah, Switzerland have just allowed this to run away from them in the final, in the last 15, 20 minutes. Just got to live it out of hand.
Yeah, I think I'll play Alexia Putas.
Livia Peng has faced 2 penalties and has conceded none.
I was going to say neither have gone in.
She hasn't saved any of them, but they haven't gone in. And it will be Putellas to make it 3 for Spain. Or will Peng still remain unbeaten against penalties at this tournament?
Looking for, I believe, we have 8th goal contribution so far.
Yeah, 4th goal. Definitely. Yeah.
Something like that. She's been ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Putas. From 12 yards for Spain, waiting for the referee's whistle. The crowd behind the goal can't see it. They've all pulled up their phones. But at least I have a good video of it for later. Putas steps back. Steps up, and it's saved. Livia Peng has not conceded a penalty this tournament. What a stop. And Alexia Putellas, too readable.
Brilliant.
With the spot kick, Livia Peng reacted well, gets across, makes a save. Could that be what Switzerland need to spur them on? Shirt and live overplays. Saw it this tournament, really, for Switzerland. Right.
Livia Peng refuses to be beaten from 12 yards. 3 penalties faced at this Euros and has conceded none of them. Brilliant save that is. Wasn't a great penalty from
Another penalty missed at this year's
Honestly,
Euros.
what is happening from the spot this tournament?
Ball in, Pilgrim can't quite meet it.
But yeah, terrible penalty from Putellas. It's the right height for the goalkeeper. It's not in the corner. Don't get it wrong, it's a good save. But Putellas really makes it easy for her. Readable, good height.
Too central.
So
Great save.
Like, that is a goalkeeper's dream for a penalty.
Yeah.
Central, good height, can punch it away easily.
That's why you put Livia Peng in your fancy team.
Another big save. And well, Spain's final change.
Just coming, that's Lucia Garcia.
Putellas' last contribution.
On for Putellas, so that'll be Lopez moving centrally. And Garcia out wide. And for Switzerland,
Bene's come
a
off.
double change as well. And though they brought on an Instagram model.
What's she doing there?
Actually got on the pitch.
Yeah.
Shirt and Love's come off. Bene come off. Jamayi on. Lehman on.
It's like volunteers. Anyone can sign up.
Changes at this point. Yeah, that was a triple from Switzerland as well.
Yeah. Shirt and Live finally comes off. I mean, a rough tournament for Shirt and Live. Just tried to be too selfish.
That's Tershun on for Velotto as well, the other change.
That makes sense, giving someone a run out who hasn't featured yet at the tournament.
Yeah. Oh, what a try from Noel Moritz. She can still go. Tries to play it through the Pilgrim, doesn't quite come off.
Moritz has been brilliant today.
Love that directness. Bonmati.
Moritz has really stepped up.
Lehman feels like the... No, so 3 minutes of additional time. Lehman feels like... You know when... I think it was Argentina, where there was a content creator, like a Twitch streamer, who got to play for a team. So he started the match.
Yes.
They then took the kickoff, kicked it out of play, and it's like a huge publicity stunt. The team got loads of backlash from their own fans and every other fan in the country because that this team just disrespectful, should be honoured away for the badge. That feels like what it is with Alicia Lehman. There's an Instagram model playing. Oh, that's a bit of a mess. Paraluelo into score.
Ref had to bring it back. And
I think it's going to be a red card, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a premature end to the tournament for Noel Moritz.
She's been brilliant tonight. It's such a shame.
It's dogs though, isn't it? So you can't do anything about it. But it will mean Moritz will miss the first game of Euro 2029. So got to bear that in mind. No, it'll probably actually be a Nations League game. She's fine then. She gets some
She's delayed it as much as possible. She's still sat on the floor.
Even Spain might have
Actually
a point at this point in the game.
And the red goes up.
2 minutes.
Oh, it's
Straight
gone
red card.
from being I have to say, it was an hour of. Yeah, it is a red. Oh, it's a harsh one. I mean, she gets a it's a red card. She gets a bit of
If Paranuela
Paranuela
goes on the score there, she doesn't get sent off. That's a funny thing.
Well, I think she'll still come back to it and send her off.
Job's worth.
But yeah, it's just a standing ovation from the Switzerland fans because she's been brilliant.
But if Paranuela scores, how is it dog's day? If she's not denied a goal score opportunity.
That is true, yeah. Good point. But yeah, she's been brilliant. Maritz has been absolutely superb tonight. Honestly, an hour of solid from Switzerland. The last half an hour has been absolute carnage.
Leah Alexandri, though, how she's avoided a second. I mean, she won't play in the semi-final anyway. But
she can be back for the final.
Obviously, a red would have put her out for the final.
Yeah.
That's right. It's 2 yellows, wouldn't have potentially, but
yeah, depends on what she did. Discipline. Yeah.
It was a straight red. She could have gone.
Just a mess from Switzerland in the final half hour.
Yeah, comes Switzerland right to that. Vandalen out. Really impressive Vandler as well, by the way. Another youngster.
Yeah.
She's shown when she's had the opportunity.
Well, Switzerland haven't collapsed in the same way that likes of Portugal and Belgium did, but they still have collapsed. After they've conceded, they conceded another goal, gave away a penalty, and picked up a red card.
Lopez tries the ball out of the penalty area. Gallardo, Lopez exchanging passes. Formati. Ball in, looking for Paranuela. That's cleared away. Ref will play. We'll continue this match. So Athenia takes aim. And that one swazzes its way off the pitch. And that's... Oh no. I thought that's going to be the full time whistle. Instead, the referee wants to retake a goal kick.
God.
It's the just most bizarre. Who cares? It's for the game. It's over. Just play on. No, we've got to retake that goal kick. There we go. The full time whistle sounds. Spain 2, Switzerland 0. Luckily, Switzerland didn't get to take that goal kick too quickly. If not, that would have changed the result. But what a performance from Spain through to the semi-finals. And now they'll face France or Germany for a place in the final. Join us tomorrow evening. We'll be back for more Euros quarter-final action. France taking on Germany. That should be good. But summarise what we just watched in a few sentences, if you can.
Yeah, really good from Spain. They played well, kept it a good standard, just kept the pressure onto Switzerland, who fought valiantly for an hour. And then I can only describe the last half an hour as an absolute capitulation. They went 1-0 down and then they just threw in the towel. Gave away another goal, gave away another penalty, and picked out a red card. It was a mess. Conceding 2 goals in 5 minutes. It's another example of how Spain have these bursts and sides just collapse when they concede one to a side like Spain. So massive credit to Spain. For Switzerland, massive disappointment as host. They did well for an hour. They fought pretty well. Disappointing, obviously, to go out at your home tournament, but to be fair, to get to the quarterfinals and to put up a decent fight against the favourites is not a terrible result. But I think they'll look back on that one and feel that there was a chance tonight they could have done something. Discipline was poor. Too many yellows, picking out a red card. Pia Sundaj got booked herself as well. The occasion once they went a goal down, they just fell apart a little bit and lost their heads. And ultimately, when you lose your heads against Spain, they are just going to take advantage of that. Although, to concede 2 penalties and not concede either of them is just bizarre. I don't know what's happened to penalties at this tournament. Brilliance from Livia Peng. She goes out, but I think can be very proud of her Euros. And I think there are a few Switzerland players who can do the same. But for a goalkeeper to face 3 penalties at a tournament and to not concede any of them is really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, how much part she had to play in 2 of those penalties?
That is true.
Not going in, we can debate, but yeah, should be good. Sarkar says, guess tomorrow's score and let's meet tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow to give our predictions. Sarkar, you can join us from 7:45, the usual show format. But yeah, we're back tomorrow for France versus Germany. That summarises today's live stream. If you haven't already, go and check out my analysis of England-Sweden earlier today. took a look at what went wrong in that game for England to start, how they recovered it, and why actually perhaps a little bit more credit needs to be given to Serena Wiegmann for turning it around. And we're back tomorrow for the last quarter-final. And if you're not back tomorrow, we'll come back Sunday when we'll be discussing the quarterfinals in their totality. Come back Monday, we'll be previewing the semi-finals. Lots of videos, lots of streams coming over the next few days. Join us for all of them. That, though, is everything from us today. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.